You know what comic I thought was amazing, but never got any love? These guys. Power Man and Iron
Power
Fist.
Man and Iron Fist.
Damn right.
I've only seen a few scattered issues of it, mainly because they crossed over with other things I was collecting. But yeah,
X-Men.
but yeah, I always liked the characters of them, and I always meant to read more, but I just never got around to it.
I love them. I unabashedly love them.
Yeah, no, they're a good pair for sure.
All right, everything's put back. All right. Don't have guilty pleasure movies, Joker Tech. I believe you either like them or I don't. The closest thing is I'm slightly embarrassed that I like Cabbage Patch Kid, Garbage Pail Kids. Excuse me.
Garbage Pail Kids, the movie or
so
the
bad,
animated
yes.
series.
There's an animated series.
There was, yeah, one season.
God,
it's on DVD somewhere.
The movie, it's bad.
Yeah,
I love it, but it's bad.
I've never seen the movie. I always wanted to because it just looks horrible.
Really, we have to do it when you have the ability to get drunk, because otherwise you're gonna just fucking slit your wrists. You're like, fuck this shit. This is not worth it. This is not worth it. And that'll be in the first 10 minutes.
Awesome.
My guilty pleasure movie is Corky Romano with Chris Kattan.
Oh God,
that movie's funny.
You always go on about that movie. You silly.
Yeah,
I do, because it is funny. It's really funny, actually. Is it a good movie?
No.
No.
No one ever claims
Is it
so.
funny as hell? Will it make you on the floor laughing?
Joker Tech, Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor is like a great movie. What are you talking about? That should be a guilty pleasure. You should be proud to wear that in your
Yes.
sleeve.
Actually, I'm right there with you, Rob. Rob says, here's one that I call embarrassing. 13 going on 30. Yes. I actually like that one, too.
There's nothing wrong with that movie.
That one came
Haters
out
gonna
around,
hate.
That one came out around the same time as Mean Girls, and I thought Mean Girls was just fucking brilliant. I loved Mean Girls. And I remember thinking at the time, this Lindsay Lohan, she's really gonna go places and be huge.
All I thought was, wow, this Lindsay Lohan's got a rack. Jesus.
And that was like the last
places.
good movie she did. And then she went crazy.
Both those movies are okay.
But I enjoyed 13 going on 30. It was good, innocent fun.
Yeah.
It was like
It felt like an updated Big.
Or like an updated Big or Freaky Friday kind of thing.
Yeah. Or what's that? Peggy Sue Got Married.
And I thought Jennifer Garner was actually really funny in that. And she doesn't
so
really do
hot.
comedy very much, but I thought she was hilarious in that.
I'm trying to
She
think of a
part of a toaster, and I'd be like, she's so hot.
trying to think of a guilty or more actual guilty pleasures.
Yeah, because I don't have a guilty pleasure. I just had that one where I'm like, yeah, I do like that movie. I'm sorry.
Cash Black likes Freddy Got Fingered.
That one's okay.
Spotted Feather hates Freddy Got Fingered.
Fair enough.
AC likes Fashion Police because Joan Rivers is funny as shit. Yes, she has.
I will admit something that truly is a somewhat guilty pleasure because of reasons.
Because of reasons.
Taking your brain completely out and maybe setting it outside for a while you watch this. I actually did have a little bit of fun watching the American
That's a lot of
Godzilla.
qualifiers. What
It is a lot of qualifiers. The American Godzilla movie.
Which one?
The one that we all hate.
Oh, the American Godzilla.
Gino.
Movie.
You like Gino.
It's not without its moments. But it's... He's just like, fuck you, I'm out of here. That's it. We've lost Skin Slip forever.
It's a very guilty pleasure, obviously.
Joker Tech says Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 gets a lot of hate, especially for the supposed emo Peter Parker scene where he goes and dances the night away with Gwen Stacy, but I really don't have any major issues with Spider-Man 3. I have far more issues with X-Men 3 than I do with Spider-Man 3. I mean, Spider-Man 3, it's got enough good in it that I can let it go. I can forgive it its faults, because a lot of the faults in it are due to studio interference anyway, so I don't blame Sam Raimi for that one bit.
No one should blame Sam Raimi for Spider-Man 3.
No, because I thought the story that he wanted to do, i.e. the Sandman story, was really good and full of some nice little emotional touches and stuff, and I really liked the guy that got to play Sandman. I thought he was perfect.
Oh yeah,
for the
he's
part.
perfect.
And even Topher Grace as what's his face, Brock.
No, I have to disagree with you
No.
on that one. That's the only one I have to disagree with. Just because God, I can't remember his name. The character, not the actor.
Wasn't it Brock something?
Yes,
Brock
but
Peters, I want to say. I can't remember. Well, I know in the comics
Eddie Brock,
he was
I think.
Eddie Brock. That's what it was. Yes, I don't know where I got Brock Peters from.
As Eddie Brock, yeah, Eddie Brock.
Because I know in the comics he was a bigger guy.
He's a football. He's the traditional bully jock.
Right. Yeah.
And Topher is pretty much the exact opposite
He is
of that.
not. Yeah. No, I think
So-
I liked Topher simply for the attitude that he had.
Yeah, I'd say that.
He had the
attitude-
dickiness of Eddie
Yes.
Brock.
Totally.
Which at the time was a different
so much
kind of
respect
character.
for you, Eric.
We didn't see. We only seen
You
him
had very
play
little
nice
respect for me to
characters.
begin with, so
And
there
it's
wasn't
even
much
less.
to lose.
Yeah, and now it's almost all gone. Almost all of it.
It will be sorely missed.
You have,
But,
you have 2 respect points left.
I will, like I said, the only reason I say that movie is because, one, the effects for Godzilla, just the special effects, were pretty good, especially for the time. They were fun to watch. Kind of like the whole mysterious that you never... It wasn't until later in the movie that you actually saw a full shot of them. The other things, I mean, there's not very much to pick from, to be honest with you. One of them said it, one of the members said it in the
Oh,
chat.
I know who you're talking. Sorry, Spotted Feather said Brock Peters is the black guy in the Star Trek movies. In Star Trek 4 at Starfleet Command. And Manic says, wasn't he Admiral Cartwright and Sisko's father? And
Yes.
Spotted Feather says, yeah, that's him. It's like, yeah, okay, I know exactly who you're talking about now. He was in a couple of the Star Trek movies, as I recall, but most memorably in Star Trek 4.
So my honest opinion about
Yes!
Gino.
And he was Darth Vader in the radio adaptation of the original Star Wars trilogy. I remember we listened to that online a few years ago, and I noticed that.
Is if it wasn't called Godzilla and it didn't star Matthew Broderick, the movie would be salvageable.
They were saying that
It was just some generic
actually
giant
was pretty
monster
kick-ass
movie.
in the movie.
Yeah, if it was called Iguanodon Attacks, I mean, that's a shitty name. But at least I knew what I was getting into, you know?
Yeah, I mean, your reasons are very valid. I mean, I'm not praising this movie at all. It is a god-awful
Jean
anal
Reno was the
stain,
saving grace of that film.
anal piss stain.
Yes.
Of,
Oh my God, as the French
Mr.
Secret
French.
Service agent.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like,
Hank Azaria is pretty funny.
this
But
coffee's terrible. Well, it's French. Are you sure? It says French roast on the tin. And then the whole thing about they all have to chew gum because it makes them look more American.
Yeah.
well, like I said, that and the fact that we got a hilarious Doritos commercial on it.
And hearing
And Taco Bell.
and hearing
And
Jean
Taco Bell
Reno
commercial.
and hearing Jean Reno doing an Elvis impersonation.
worth the $8 I paid to go see that.
There
movie
you
in
go.
theaters.
Yeah, Jean Reno is definitely the best part.
Yeah, I actually had. You remember the lollipop spinners things that would spin?
Yep.
I had the Godzilla one from that movie that moved his hands up and down and opened and closed its mouth.
Oh, I got that beat. I have not one, but 2 cup holders from 7-Eleven of that Godzilla. The ones that hang on your car door.
That
Taco
movie,
Bell.
that's another
Taco
good thing.
Bell.
That
Taco Bell,
movie had
sorry.
awesome merchandise.
Yeah. And an awesome teaser trailer. What was I going to say? Verminard and Joker Tech mentioned Leon the Professional. Yes, absolutely the best Jean Reno movie ever.
One of the few
Yeah.
That's a
movies
lot.
as a man that you're allowed to cry at.
Yep, exactly. Buddy says regarding Gino, my thought with that movie is, what the hell is Jean Reno doing in this movie?
Now, here's the thing. So you're a cult actor. You've got a nice following, right? But you never really had a big hit.
Yeah.
And then this guy, American producer says, hey, I'm going to pay you this much. And you see a lot of zeros, I'll fucking sign up. I don't
Yeah,
care.
there you go.
I will be, if it was Godzilla 2 and they said, hey, we want you to be a dude in it, I'm like, sold. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. That fucking paycheck,
It's-
bro.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. I'm going to go for a stroke. I'll be right back.
Raptor says, that's a lot of fish.
I like the build up in that movie. I did not
Yeah.
like that second half, like you said.
Yeah.
The baby Godzilla's thing was stupid, but
Mm-hmm. the first half, it had a very, well, now what we would call it, a very Cloverfield feel to it. Which, and we all know, we love Cloverfield.
Yes.
That was awesome. I cannot wait until they do a Cloverfield 2. I want to know where they're going to go with it. If they're going to retell the same story except from a different perspective.
Yeah,
that was one thing I thought was pretty cool, like maybe from a military standpoint.
Yeah, I said that, 2 weeks ago, the last time I was on? No, 3 weeks before the break.
Something like that. To be honest, I was saying that when I came out of the theater.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us were saying that. Now I want to see this again from the military or someone else's standpoint. Maybe a little bit more stable standpoint. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that movie. Well, while you were gone, since we were all talking about their guilty pleasure is Spider-Man 3.
I didn't think it was that bad a movie, honestly.
The only things we really didn't like, obviously, was Topher Grace.
The dancing part is my only problem.
Yeah, the dancing part. The fact they killed off Venom. Venom could have spawned another film in a whole other genre, introducing Carnage. But that is just a missed opportunity, I guess.
The whole movie's a missed opportunity.
Venom they didn't pull off very well, but we all seem to have agreed that they did pull off Sandman damn near perfectly.
I think the movie would be better if Hobgoblin was taken out of it.
Yeah, if they kind of chose a different villain.
No, they either did either Hobgoblin or Harry or whatever you want, or Green. Venom. One of the two. Was he still Green Goblin?
Yeah. I mean,
the intent was that he was Hobgoblin.
I guess you can call him that if you want, but he's not stated. But he's still, technically speaking, he's not wearing a goblin mask, though. In essence, he's Harry Osborn.
He's
on
a split personality kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that they should have gone with a build-up for him for Part 4 and not actually had him as a villain in this movie.
He wasn't a villain, really.
Well, that was one thing I was kind of confused.
Oh, crap, he's going to be a villain,
Yeah, that was one thing I was a bit confused, was I never knew if Harry was a good guy or a bad guy throughout the entire stinking movie. Because I knew he had a vengeance against Spider-Man, but I didn't... Once he found out who Spider-Man was, that is where you got confused, because you're like, okay, he wants Spider-Man dead, but he doesn't want to kill his friend. I guess that's the whole big connection thing there. But when he finds it out, he still actively tries to kill him, and then stops, and then knows again, and stops. And it's just like, wait a minute. You need to, now he knows, you need to pick a side, good or bad.
See, my thing is, he should have not been Green Goblin. He should have been at the point where he finds out that Peter is Green Goblin, Peter is Spider-Man, and at the end of the movie, you can see he's at that crossroads. What he's going to do? Does he still want revenge, right? And so Venom has a whole movie to be there. And Sandman, of course, right? Yeah. And the fourth movie, is Venom's in prison because he gets beat up or whatever, and Green Goblin and Spider-Man fight, or Green Goblin 2 or Hobgoblin, whatever they're going to call him, right? And at the end of that, you see that Venom has spawned. And there's carnage, and that would be a great teaser for Part 5.
So it'd be like cliffhanger ending kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Killing off Venom, completely missed opportunity with Carnage.
I think he did that because Raimi was spiteful because they pushed Venom on him. And he didn't want to do Venom at all.
Well, also, the scene with... I was actually glad they put the scene with the church bell in there. Because, that was right out of the comics, so that was a nice touch.
Oh, shit.
And I thought, that's a good way to resolve the dark thing.
I kind of always pictured Venom away from Spider-Man as a flying T-shirt with a face.
Beware the killer T-shirt.
It's kind of what he was, really.
No, I do not ever want to see that Spotted Feather. I'm sorry, but no. That was
Huh?
I'm
What?
with,
That was a terrible thing.
I'm with the fans who hate that idea and think it is a travesty that they used that for, what was it,
Fair for Thunder.
issue 600 or whatever the hell it was.
Jesus, I heard that. And then in the 90s, they had Dr. Octopus was dead, and his hermaphroditic daughter was Dr. Octopus. That was fucking weird.
Sorry, for those watching the video who can't see the text chat Spotify just said, I'd like to see them do what they're doing in the comic, where Doc Ock is Spider-Man. Yeah,
No.
Yeah,
No brand new day. None of this shit.
No, Alfred
No,
Molina
what-
as
Yeah.
freaking.
What would have been more
Spider-Man
interesting
no
is the
thanks.
fact that
Nair NYC in the,
The
house.
thing is,
How's it
would
going,
be-
dude? I was gonna say buddy, and it almost came out Duddy.
Duder.
Duty.
All right, what are you saying, Alex?
okay, one of the problems is with that is the fact that there's such an obvious backdoor that
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, Doc Ock is in it's Peter's body, but Peter's dead, but Peter Parker's memories are in Doc Ock. So everyone's like going, okay, so give us like 12 issues and Peter's memories are going to supersede Doc Ock, and then we'll just be back to where it is.
The end. Reset.
And then-
Or,
but that's such an
you know,
obvious
the
thing.
9 million
Yeah.
Spider-Man clones that exist. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
But the thing is, it's such an obvious there's such an obvious like restart in there that it's just like, well, this means absolutely nothing.
yeah.
If like Doc Ock honestly didn't know any of Spider-Man's memories and had to like figure out Spider-Man on his own to like, because he's supposed to be honoring Spider-Man by doing this.
Yeah, whatever.
So if like he had to figure out how to be good from, you know, like himself, I think it would be a much more interesting character arc.
Yeah.
But just be like, oh, I have all of Peter's memories, so therefore I'm good as is. So I don't have to figure out how to be Spider-Man because I am Spider-Man because I'm Peter Parker. And then, oh my God, all Doc Ock's memories are now gone, and now I'm Peter Parker again.
Yeah.
I just flashed to
The Incredible
2014, didn't I?
Spider-Ham. Yes.
I
The Incredible
actually,
Spider-Ham.
I'm back.
I love
I'm
that.
back.
I actually have the first few issues of Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
Or the Spectacular Spider-Ham, that's what it was.
Right.
Cash Black asks, I can't remember, Sean, if you've seen the new Spider-Man film. Oh, you mean the, quick, let's make a Spider-Man film, like, really rushed so we can keep the rights movie. Yes, I have seen that one. Didn't really care for it that much.
It was okay.
It had some moments, but really, and it was nice to see a return to the classic made by science web shooters rather than the organic web shooters.
Yes.
Yes.
But
They dropped the ball with the lizards. Let's not forget about that. They
yeah,
dropped it
the
so
lizard
hard.
was not as spectacular as it should have been in the design.
The actor
It
was
did not
fine.
look good. Yeah, the actor was
Monster.
fine.
The monster and motive was stupid.
Didn't care for the design.
The monster face, it's just the face. If you just change the face, it'd
Yeah.
probably be pretty.
Well, the problem is also the
everyone, no
motive.
one would
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
He wants to turn everyone into a lizard. Why? He doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit about that.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese Spider-Man show was hilarious.
Spotty Feather
Giant robots, bro.
says Superman
Mhm.
without underwear just isn't the same.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's still boring.
And oh, surprise, surprise, he's going to fight Zod in the movies because, you know, that's the only supervillain that's ever appeared in all of Superman lore that's worthy of fighting Superman.
And Lex Luthor, don't forget Lex.
Yeah.
Probably just glad
Kneel
we're not
before
getting Lex
Zod.
versus.
So apparently they're not doing Lex at all in this movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, it's good that he's going to get to fight a supervillain, but why does it have to be Zod? Why can't it be someone that's never appeared in the movies before?
Mr. Mix will play.
That would, to be honest, that wouldn't work in live action. It really wouldn't.
No.
I'd love to. Don't get me
Awesome.
wrong. It just won't work.
No.
I'm being honest. You know.
Well, it's,
Even as like a second tier villain would be interesting.
what about
Bernard
Well,
goes, Superman without underwear sounds like a porno in the
what
movie.
would be some good villains to put up against Superman in a big budget
Brainiac.
movie? Brainiac,
Brainiac,
of course.
obvious is Brainiac.
Brainiac,
Yeah.
Maybe
Metallo.
Metallo.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Bizarro.
Yeah,
Bizarro.
yeah, Bizarro Superman for sure. What about the Parasite?
Okay, let's
Not
just
the-
go
not
down
the
the
par-
Wiki.
Parasite.
Not
Ooh,
the
yeah.
not the Parasite from All Star Superman, but the original Parasite.
The pink guy who
The
takes your soul.
well, it just
The-
absorbs the superpowers or whatever.
Uh-huh. Your life force. and
Dark
stuff,
Side would be good.
Ooh, Darkseid, what the
yeah,
hell?
Dark
Yeah. It's
Side.
funny. Darkseid was not a Superman villain. He's just become a Superman villain.
He has.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Solaris might be good.
There's that great scene in Ultimate Superman where Superman's saying, like, everybody else I fight, I have to pull my punches, but not with you.
Yep.
And then it just turns into the most epic battle of the Titans ever.
Cash goes Lobo.
Lobo.
That'd be awesome.
Solomon Grundy.
Oh god, an entire movie of Solomon Grundy.
I love Solomon Grundy, but he's a low-level villain.
Yeah,
he can get defeated in the first half hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Why don't we just have him fight the entire
Legion of Doom?
The Legion of Doom versus Superman, and nobody else.
It works. It works.
Imperiex, Hank Henshaw.
That's pretty much what we're doing. Is we're pretty much listing the friggin' Legion of Doom.
Well, we are getting a Justice League movie. Maybe we'll see something of the Legion of Doom in that.
Yeah, Mongol would be good.
Mongol
destroyed Coast City, which led Hal Jordan to go insane. So they could lead that into the Green Lantern movie by destroying Coast City and Green Lantern going nuts at the end of the movie.
That means we get her. That means we go to Kyle Renner. I don't want that.
Whatever. It's a movie.
Should they go racial and do Superman versus Mr. T?
This is radical, not racial. They should go radical.
Radical. I'm sorry.
They should go racial.
Yeah.
They should go racial and have a
racist.
Totally racist,
Oh.
I mean, you can even do like
Manchester Black.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Joker Tech asks, whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow? Would be a good flick.
That would be unfilmable.
Yeah.
Once again, it's Mixoplex, so it needs to be part of it. And I don't think Mixoplex would work. I don't think he'd work as a villain. It's not believable to the average person. You know what I mean? Like
Ambush Bug.
I love Ambush Bug.
Did you ever read the Ambush Bug solo miniseries that they did?
Yep.
Fuck, I love those. Those are like some of the just laugh out loud funny.
I love the Ambush Bug.
Yeah. I've got the original miniseries and I think the Stocking Stuffer and the second miniseries, but I need.
It was DC's answer to Howard the Duck. I mean,
it really was. Yeah. It was great, but it was even more ludicrous. I love the whole idea is he was a comic book character that was aware he was in a comic book.
Which is
and that was basically
Deadpool's becoming.
And that was basically his superpower.
That's what Deadpool's become. He's a comic book character that's aware that he's in a comic book character.
Really? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's interesting.
If it's done well, yeah.
Oh, Deadpool is one of the best written comics on stage right now.
Really? Cool.
Yes. Who created you? Keith Giffen. That's right.
Keith Giffen. Yeah, and yes. Lauren Fleming, was it?
I think so.
Yeah. They did another series called Thriller, which was very trippy kind of deluxe format series that ran for, I don't know, it didn't run very long. It was 7 issues. I've actually got all of that as well. And the reason I picked that up was because they kept mentioning it in Ambush Bug, and I was like, I gotta see this. I gotta see this Thriller comic they keep talking about. And suddenly, a lot of the jokes in Ambush Bug made a lot more sense after reading Thriller.
Yeah,
I actually really liked Thriller as well. It was unfortunate it didn't continue. I thought it had some good ideas.
Joker Tech says Superman, whatever happened to Man Tomorrow would make a really good 2-part DC animated. I absolutely agree. That's exactly where I think it could work.
As
DC animated. Yes. Yeah. Even condensed. It's actually it could be condensed into a one movie. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like All Star.
I just figured out who I want to be the villain for the Justice League movie. Amazo.
Who?
Amazo.
I don't know that one.
He basically is a robot. Then he copies superpower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you could do a whole build-up mystery of Dr. I can never remember his name.
You just have Lex Luthor make Amazo, to be honest with you.
No, God, no.
Why?
That's not made him, first off.
What?
That's not canon.
Maybe
Can't
it
do
was
it.
not made.
I'm sorry, it's a movie. It's not going to be kind of blowing it anyway. So, who gives a shit?
Well, aren't you the most person that flip flops on that one?
Yeah.
Like it has to be
Absolutely.
accurate. No, it cannot be accurate.
I have to be truthful.
Depends on the.
Professor Ivo.
Oh,
has
Professor
to.
Ivo, whatever, dude. Like Professor Ivo's such a lame fucking character.
Well,
It could just transpose.
Ivo Robotnik. He could make a Mazo and then make it a Sonic the Hedgehog crossover. There you
Honestly,
go.
you could literally replace Professor Ivo with Lex Luthor. They're literally the same character.
No, you can't. They're different characters.
Oh, Alex is a purist. No, they're not.
No,
They're
Alex
different.
is not what you're
Their
talking
names
about.
aren't even spelled the same. Come on. Oh, Joker Tech asks, the robot at the beginning of Under the Red Hood, that's a Mazo, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it was, yeah. No, that does sound familiar, yeah.
Yep, that was amazing.
As I recall, he gets smoked in Under the Red Hood.
Well, yeah.
Well, that was because it was Robin fighting him, and so far he had nothing to actually do.
It's true.
There you go.
Dr. Fate movie would be sweet, Bodfeather.
Verminard says Nuclear Man.
No. No Nuclear Man, no Sun Man, no.
Yeah.
Nair
Ultron.
NYC, I love you. He says my favorite comic book hero is Rom. We were actually talking about Rom earlier.
We were.
I've always felt that Rom would make a great, 65-episode animated series. Just wonderful throwback to the 50s alien invasion flicks with...
It'd make a good movie, too.
It would. I would love... Because, that's a series I sit down and reread periodically because I just love the, I just love it. I just love everything about it. It's got so many
reasons.
It's got so many nods to classic sci-fi elements. You got the shape-shifting aliens among us. The invasion happened ages ago and they've been here forever. And then you got Rom showing up, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like he's just showing up and randomly vaporizing people. But they don't realize they're actually aliens in disguise, and he's banishing them to limbo. But it looks like he's just disintegrating them to ash, because he's the only one who can actually see them as they are.
Yep.
And it creates this wonderful scenario where he's here to save us, and everybody thinks that he's just this merciless robot killing machine that's shown up and starts killing everybody. And it takes a long time for him to convince everybody that he's actually the good guy. And
But that right there can be a really good movie, right? That storyline.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the dire wraiths totally, or the aliens, totally use that to their advantage to try to keep the distrust of Rom going, and so they can further their own plans. And it's just a great epic story, and really doesn't get enough credit. And unfortunately, due to some rights issues with the toy license, they can't actually reprint them. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have done collected volumes by now, because I know there is a fan base out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good fun. I really enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah. And so thanks to my nieces watching modern show after modern kid show on my Netflix, I've been catching up on a lot of Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Rosie
and
watches that sometimes.
What I think actually just as a joke comic would make a funny a 6-episode run or a 6-issue run would be the Crimson Chin.
The
Crimson Chin and Cleft the Boy Chin Wonder. Fighting off evil
show.
Yeah, and fighting off evil in the town of InSaNiTy.
InSaNiTy, oh god.
It's freaking hilarious. Yes, the Crimson Chin would be
That's funny.
I think my favorite part is about Rom. Is that he showed up in the South Park Imagination Land episode.
Did he really?
Yes.
That's great.
Well, a character that looks suspiciously like him, I should say.
Yeah. Well, if it's parody, you can sneak around the licensing issues.
Yep.
They should just do one called Ram Space Warrior.
Oh, and he started using the episode of Silver Surfer, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a different name, but a character highly reminiscent of Rum. Apparently, the episode Learning Curve. I just found this out.
Another reason why we need to watch that.
Such a good show.
Yeah, I remember. I remember Silver Surfer ran into Ego, the Living Planet, in one episode, as I recall, and
Yep.
I remember there one of the later issues of Rom when he had defeated the Dire Wraiths and he was on his way back to Galador. He encountered Ego, the Living Planet, and Ego almost destroyed him.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty brutal, and I noticed one thing I really respected about it was its adherence to its own continuity. Was one thing that's reiterated again and again is how virtually indestructible Space Knight armor is, and he gets through a good chunk of the series without too much damage, and when he does get damaged, it's repaired fairly easily. But when he fights Ego actually partially digests him, and he gets all of these pock marks on his armor, and for the rest of the series, he has those pock marks on his armor. So I thought that was a nice attention to detail.
I'm talking about Superman versus the Tick.
He actually gets damaged and almost killed more in the last 10 issues than he did in the previous 65 fighting the Dire Wraiths.
It's interesting. My favorite story of Ego the Living Planet was there's a comic series in the last 10 years it's called Marvel Adventures, right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like a kid-friendly type thing. But one of the issues had Ego the Living Planet falling in love with Earth. And he's trying to court her with giant flowers and all this other stuff. And the Avengers are trying to convince him to go away. It's fucking hilarious. I have the issue in those boxes behind me. I'm just not going to dig for them because I don't know where it is.
Ego
Courting
falls
Earth.
in love.
Yeah.
I just picture a big giant ball with one arm coming out, and a giant massive galaxy-wide bouquet of flowers.
Vermin Art. You know my heart so well. Says, I think what would make a good animated series, linking into last week's chat, would be Shay Khan, the Forever Man. I would be so down with that, or at least an animated movie or something.
That'd be interesting.
Absolutely. I have a sort of motion comic that was done of the main storyline of Shay Khan, which is quite good. Narrated and performed by one guy who's clearly a very passionate fan of the character and put a lot into his performance. I'll have to dig that up one day and have to watch it.
You know what needs to be...
Here's the picture of the cover in the Google chat, just so you know.
Yeah, you know what?
There we go.
Needs to have a full modern day reboot. Would be Battle of the Planets.
Oh, Battle of the Planets.
Battle of the Planets needs a reboot, and so does Defenders of the Earth.
Defenders of the Earth. We both did that. There we go.
That is funny as hell.
He is so... he's craters are like hearts.
Yep. It's awesome. I have this issue. It's good. I bought it. I seriously... as I used to work in a game store that had a comic shop attached to it, right? So I'd go over there on breaks, I'd just grab a random issues on the shelf and read it, because no one gave a crap. And I read this issue, and then I immediately bought it, because this has to be my collection, because it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's just so ludicrous.
Oh my god, they finally got the rights to reboot Manimal.
What?
Oh, no.
Really? I didn't think anybody but me remembered that show.
God, fucking Manimal.
I remember
I actually know someone else who highly remembers and regards Manimal, and that's...
I loved Manimal. Because I mean, it came
The
out
cinema
in an era.
snob actually
Yeah, I mean,
freaking loves Manimal.
it came out in an era when the big thing about Manimal, of course, was the transformation effects when he would turn into the different animals.
Right, yeah.
Which at the time you did not see those kinds of effects on television, so it was quite a novelty. I mean, you would see it. I mean, this is at a time when like American Werewolf in London and stuff like that were breaking new ground with like animatronic.
Brown that hasn't been beaten since, by the way.
Yeah, no. American Werewolf in London has like one of the best werewolf transformations ever. It's just fantastic. I mean, you can feel the guy's pain as all his bones are elongating and reshaping and cracking and snapping.
It was the first time in which that was shown as a painful thing, actually.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, but apparently they are rebooting Battle of the Planets and Defenders of the Earth.
There you go.
So-
And Spotted Feather says, I can't wait to see what they do with Captain Power, another reboot that's in the works. Coming back.
Supposedly.
No, it's definitely happening, apparently.
Eventually, sometime.
It's coming back as Phoenix Rising. They're actually working on it. It's in pre-production right now.
I literally will I won't hold my breath until I see, like, a commercial for it or something, I swear.
Right, whatever.
One of those things, it's like
Just
oh,
keep
I'm
holding your
so-
breath.
Yeah.
I don't
eventually.
want to get my hopes up in case it goes down.
No,
See what
I know. But yes, they are rebooting Captain Power. They've been working on it for about the past year.
Now, Joker Tech, do you mean the mask or mask?
No, the
I'm
Mask
sure he
comic
means
book.
The Mask.
The
Okay.
comic book of the Mask was gritty, dark, and hilarious.
As much
And then
as
completely different.
the movie is very watered down, yeah.
Yes. One of my favorite things is actually Lobo Meets the Mask. It's actually a comic they did. Where Lobo meets the mask, and at one point Lobo puts the mask on, and he's like the most insane thing you've ever seen. But yes, the comic was very dark.
grab some munchies. And I need to pee, and I need to get water.
Yeah, good night, John Guy.
Night, John Guy. Oh, God. Steel. God. I want to just see a Death of Superman, Funeral for a Friend, and Return of Superman animated series. That'd be cool.
I wish, I mean, I don't care anymore, I don't have cable, but I really wish networks like Cartoon Network and would start showing 90s Batman again. That would be awesome.
Just realized who Brendan was. Derp. Earlier, someone named Brendan decided to say, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "I don't recognize you by name." But I think it was WWE TNA for Life who's been here under that name. I would have guessed that one. But Derp. I hate when that happens. Like, I don't know who you are. I do know who you are. I'm stupid. Don't mind me.
Yeah, Biker Mice from Mars would be another cool.
Starting The
video.
Rock.
as a giant motorcycle riding mouse.
I get to see that, actually. It's a funny thing.
The Rock with ears and a tail.
Street Sharks rebooted with
Street. What was that show where it was about a bunch of crime-fighting dogs?
I don't know.
And they were a bunch of crime-fighting dogs, and each dog was from like a different nation. Like the leader dog was the president's dog. Then there was like a Russian dog, a French poodle, and something like that. It was around the same time as like Street Sharks and Animaniacs, and Freakazoid was around at the same time too. Road Rovers. Road Rovers, thank you.
Okay.
Tech.
Nair, I hope he doesn't pass the torch at WrestleMania. Undertaker should retire undefeated. I think he's going to, unfortunately. I think he is. I mean, I don't think that's a good idea. To be honest, I would actually be way happier if it was a double count out. So he loses, but nobody won either.
Calm down, Joker Tech. There's about, I'd say, at least 15 seconds of lag between when I'm actually talking and when it
there's
shows
actually
up in the
25
chat.
right now. 25 seconds.
25. Holy crap!
I counted at some point. So that was about an hour ago. It could be worse now, for all I know. I'm too drunk to count. easiest way to do is this, and then wait for you to do that action. Count until you see that action. You'll see how far behind you are. God. So long.
Holy crap, it was almost exactly 25 seconds.
So it hasn't changed. Okay. Yeah, it was like exactly 25 seconds when I counted. So I think it's actually 25 seconds of delay.
Now there's 25 seconds of me just awkwardly staring into the camera.
If only you made it. Yeah, you made a noise too, so you're just staring. I think the whole time.
I snap and then stare.
Yeah, you don't say anything. So you were like the main camera for 25 seconds, but you just stared at the soul of everybody. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Road Rovers. They need to either release that show or reboot it or do something with it, because that was
Both.
that would be fun. I would like to see some new episodes, or
Alright, let's
see
see
the old episodes again.
if there's anything new on Plenty of Fatties. Oh, look. A 49-year-old has viewed my profile. No, thank you.
Have I played the new Family Guy game? No, I have not, but I do want to, because I did rather enjoy the first Family Guy game.
I
For
didn't know
me,
there were any
love-
Family Guy games.
I liked all the plot to that one where he's where he's trying to find the person who kidnapped Mr. Belvedere. That's the entire plot for Peter. Is
What?
that he's on a trek, he sees a big sign with a B on it, and he thinks it's the Mr. Belvedere signal.
Oh, God.
So,
Oh
I got a big bag of Ripple chips,
my god, those look like...
It looks so ghetto.
some garlic tip. Well, that's no name brand, but here's the thing: I get this 750 gram bag for like $3.99. So, yeah,
I was gonna say that bag looked like IKEA alkaline batteries.
I got
They do. They do.
peanuts. IKEA alkaline.
They
Battery.
Have
really
you ever
did.
seen a pack of IKEA alkaline batteries? They're just bright yellow with
And-
black text on it.
Swiss cheese crackers. Well, actually,
Those
all
Swiss cheese crackers are so good.
all the no name brand stuff looks like this. This is like their
Yeah, all those-
standard
What
design.
All the
company
no-name
made that?
brands here are
Where do you
white.
get those at?
The Superstore. It's a Canadian
Oh,
chain.
so that's like a superstore brand.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
A lot of the no-name stuff's actually pretty good. I got the no-name peanut butter as well, and it's quite good.
Oh, this
so
is
here we
great.
go.
So I'm surfing. So Sean, I'm surfing Plenty of Fatties, right? And
Yes.
there's a picture here, and almost every profile I go to, there's a picture of a chick who took a photo of herself in her car. I don't get why people take photos in the car, but underneath this is a typical car photo before work. And I'm like, that's awesome. She notices that it's very common for women to take photos of themselves in their car, and so she made reference to that in her profile.
That's excellent.
Oh,
Self-referential humor.
That's totally just open the bag and take your entire arm and just...
Pretty much.
I'm gonna add this chick to my favorite. She's
I've been
she's
munching
awesome.
these all week, so most of them are at the bottom of the bag now. So
I just finished a 150 liter, like the $2 bag of freaking pork rinds that are like
150 liter what?
Bag of pork
gram
rinds.
or whatever. It's,
150 liters of pork rinds,
oh,
liquefied.
God.
Mm.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh god. that'd be horrible.
No, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot of food, but because pork rinds are big and poofy.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
That's
ate
true.
one of those in like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, my stomach.
Mhm.
Buddy Lambert, I totally agree with that. That if they could do the 90s animated series of Batman Justice on Blu-ray, I
Yes.
would love to see it.
Absolutely. It all depends on what kind of source material they have. I mean, in the case of Justice League, it was actually produced in high def on computer from day one.
Yeah.
So they were able to do that. And same with season 2. And going forward from there, they did it all on computer in high def. Prior to that, though, everything was obviously done on film. The question is whether or not they have fully finished masters on film or not.
Yeah.
I'm venturing to guess somewhere. I also venture to guess that Warner Brothers probably won't be able to find them because they're. I have a friend whose significant other works in the archive, and that's apparently his job is to try to make sense of it. And they're finding reels from movies that they didn't know had extra reels, and like every day we find a misplaced reel somewhere. Because for decades they had incompetent filing text. So there's lots of misplaced stuff. So there's a good chance that they exist. Do they know where they are? Fuck no, probably not.
Just a matter of finding where they are.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of what the actual film archives look like. It almost looks like that friggin' warehouse from the end of the Indiana Jones movie.
That's just one of them. They have.
I know.
12,
Yeah.
they have 12 warehouses that big.
Wow.
It's so much film.
It's one of those you see the picture and you cannot see the other end of the building.
They've done a lot over the years.
Lord.
They have. Yeah.
Back in the early days, they would literally crank out a feature-length movie every week. Every week.
Yeah, and like there's he told me once he had to walk across the warehouse and it took him 20 minutes round trip to go from one corner to the other.
Wow.
There's like 5 forklifts for 7 aisles because the aisles are so long that they can't afford to just drive one forklift. They bought forklift for almost every aisle.
Oh, wow.
It's insane. It's just brain explodes.
So what does he do? He just spends all day watching film reels and cataloging them?
Yes, absolutely. That's all he does.
I would love to have that job.
he found he's the one who got the special features for Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia.
Did you say Alabria?
Yes.
Lawrence of Alabria.
Oh, Lawrence of Alabria.
For like the video
of Alabia.
He's the one who went into the video vault and found the tape number for some of the TV stuff and some of the film extras. He found those things. He had to go find them. He's the only one who knew where they were.
Nice.
Because he'd recently cataloged them. He says there's more. He found more after the Blu-ray release.
That's
They have
cool.
more stuff, you know.
Joker Tech added that if they ever do decide to do it, he really hopes that they just, as they're doing it, that they would also do it with Batman Beyond.
Yeah, I mean, as
And
long
do
as
a
the
Blu-ray
structure
release
still
of that.
exists.
Yeah. I have no doubt they're probably all filed in one area behind like 3 rows of stuff. I mean...
Well, Buddy says, have to remember the Batman came from the era of 90s television, so 480i may be the best that exists.
Yep.
Which is true.
I mean, it was shot on film, but it's very possible, yes, that it was edited and mastered on SD video. However, Warner does keep a lot of their stuff, so it's possible they may still have the original work prints, and they could reassemble the episodes in high def from those.
Warner doesn't throw anything away. They still have film splices from like some random comedy done in the 90s. Just a bin. They have like a little like this. Suspended in like whatever preserved stuff. They have cut ends from copies of a film. Not even the original print. Copies that they use to print. Okay, and they just have the cut off the last couple like frames, like 30 frames of the last scene or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they just threw it in a bin.
So
and,
the trims.
Yeah, they keep everything.
Well,
you kidding me?
Too bad the BBC didn't do that.
Yeah, well, much smaller company.
Yeah, another one they were mentioning they should do is Static Shock.
That'd be cool. I want that on DVD in some form. I think we've only gotten like one compilation DVD.
That would be a pretty cool little trifecta release of awesome there. You get Batman animated series on Blu-ray, Batman Beyond on Blu-ray, then you get Static Shock on Blu-ray. That would be a nice... That would be a good year.
I just would at least re-release freaking the Batman the animated series so my friends can get it, because I know a lot of them don't have it.
Yeah. I definitely want it.
Yeah,
Right,
I'd
you
love
can
some kind of hard copy of that show. I haven't seen it in years.
Well, you can
Volume 1. That's it.
No, you can get the individual volumes of Batman animated series.
No, I'm talking about Static Shock. There's only Volume 1.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, anyways.
They released the spin-off of Static Shock as well, the
Zeta.
Project
Yeah.
Zeta, yeah.
But only the first season. There's 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So still waiting for the second season on that.
I'm thinking that one is very niche and probably didn't sell very well.
Yeah, if they have one archive to release the second volume, come on.
Yeah, that's true.
No excuses. I mean, the reality, they may not be able to find the masters for the second season yet. Like I said, they have a massive archive.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently not everybody in there is just enthused to be where they are. Because a lot of them are...
job to us. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, I would fucking love to be the film archivist guy. I would I would just jizz my pants every 5 minutes working that job. Like, oh god, I can't believe I found this rare thing. Oh Jesus, I've never seen this movie, but holy shit, like.
Sean Raptor asks, could a live-action Teen Titans film work?
I'm probably not the person to ask because I never really watched the show or read the comics.
I've watched the show, and I honestly say no. Because some of the characters are too off the wall that I don't think they would work.
I read some of the comics during the revival that George Perez did.
Those would work, but the newer stuff, maybe not.
The animated series, adapting it from the animated series, no, because the characters are too cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have, the human substance to them that would would adapt well to actual live action.
Well, as I recall, the animated series is very anime-inspired in a lot of its design and emoting.
Oh, yeah. Actually...
Yes, there is a Power Pack pilot. It's terrible. Don't watch it.
The theme song to the Teen Titans animated series is actually... it's those two girls.
Amy and Yui or something?
Yeah,
I just found the pilot.
Hi, Puffy Amiyumi. Yeah. That's what it was. They're the ones who did the theme song to the show.
It's YouTube link, Sean, for the Power Pack pilot, part 1.
Awesome.
It's horrible.
Is it as horrible as the Justice League live-action pilot?
No. That's just beyond horrible. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue, Eric. I apologize. Continue.
That was all I had to say.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't mean to. I just talked. I'm like, oh.
Oh, I know. I know you all do.
Raptor, the film festival was awesome. There wasn't a single bad movie. There was just some movies that weren't as good as others. Like Breath of Hate and Cold Water were not as good as the others. They weren't bad movies.
Yeah, I really like Breath of Hate. Breath of Hate I really want to see again. Mainly one, we missed the first 5-10 minutes of the movie.
Yes. If you look at Geeky.com, I actually did an article about it if you want to check it out. And
hopefully there's a link to Meat in that article. So
there is a link to Meat in that article, I believe.
Meat? Oh, is that the short you showed me?
Yeah.
Yes. So funny.
Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Oh, I wish you could show it in Livestream. I know he wouldn't care. Eric, those batteries, that's the only batteries I use, by the way. I saw your photo finally.
IKEA alkaline batteries?
Hell yeah. Why? Because they're cheap. That pack is like $2.
This is a delicious bag of batteries I'm having here.
Yeah,
it looks like
10 pack of batteries for $2. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
They got them in the all shapes and sizes. They got, D-cell, 9-volt.
Yeah.
Nair Nick says in all seriousness, a reboot we need is an X-Files reboot. They're actually bringing that back in comic book form for a season 10.
I don't think X-Files needs a reboot. We did that already. It's called Fringe. Fringe felt
then we tried the sci-fi side of it. It's called Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Sanctuary, Warehouse 13.
Warehouse 13.
There's plenty of shows that are spiritual successors to it that are perfectly acceptable to watch.
Well, shoot, even
Hi, Bus.
Even Haven.
Haven. That's the one I can never remember. Alex Haven. Haven's awesome.
I have the first season of that on Blu-ray. My mom gave it to me.
Haven's good.
I like what I've seen of it. I've only watched the first 4 episodes, but I don't.
Yeah. Primeval.
But I would and Eureka.
And Eureka. I mean, there's plenty
all
of
of
shows.
these. All of these are spiritual successors to freaking X-Files.
Pretty much.
Because kind of they all were probably either inspired or had some basis behind them.
Yeah. I heard there might be a 3rd X-Files movie. Yes.
Yes, and Raptor here mentioned that Del Toro is already talking about Pacific Rim sequel. And that's because the studio has already seen the incredible buzz behind Pacific Rim and have already started working on the script for Pacific Rim 2. But Del Toro is currently booked to do Hellboy 3, I believe.
Which is just as awesome,
And that,
by the way.
I'll put it this way. If Del Toro could choose between money or the project he loves, he'll take the project he loves. That's the kind of director he is. He turned down several movies to do Mountains of Madness. He turned down Hobbit, in fact, was one of them, and Halo. He turned both of those down to do Mountains of Madness. Mountains of Madness never came out because he wanted to do Mountains of Madness. He didn't care about money.
That was going to be his Lovecraft movie?
Yes.
Oh.
Starring Tom Cruise, but still.
Yes.
But Warner Brothers or Paramount, I can't remember who, did not want to get behind a $200 million R-rated horror film. That's what they did.
Because there was no there was no love story, and there was one other reason.
There's no precedence for R-rated horror movie at $200 million or that large of a large budget making its money back. That's the problem.
No, there was something else story-wise, though.
I'm sure. No likable characters, probably.
I think that might be no likable characters or no happy ending, something like that. No happy ending, no love story. That's what it was.
And Del Toro won't budge because it's his passion project.
He's like, fuck you, I'm doing Lovecraft the way it should be done.
And he owns the rights to the script, so he'll take it elsewhere if he can at some point.
Well, good for him.
So, I say that I know Pacific Rim's going to be awesome. It's got a rocket punch, okay? Right there. When a robot rocket punches a Cthulhu beast in the face, where's my money? Take it. Take my money. I'm pushing my money against the monitor. Nothing's happening. So, yes. Oh, and Guillermo del Toro's attached to it, and the chick who does GLaDOS is in it. Sold.
Oh, really?
You literally have just taken... Yes, you've literally taken all my want to keep my money. Just take it.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna whore myself out to go see it. Opening weekend, I think. If I can help it.
I'll take a shot in the mouth to go see Pacific Rim.
Fuck yeah! I'll take a shot in the mouth for sure.
After I asked Sean, have I ever shown my daughter any Popeye cartoons? Yes, actually, she has a few on her
200 cartoon ones.
On one of her 200 cartoon collections. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I've actually ever seen Popeye cartoons.
There's a few on
the original
Alibaba. And there's a couple of just other random ones, or Bluto's being an asshole to him and stuff like that.
Because there was a animated series in the 80s or 90s, right? Like a New Adventures of Popeye.
I think so.
I seem to remember that, but I've only seen the 200 cartoon set, like original Popeye. I've never seen any other original Popeyes. So that is alright. Yeah.
I used to see a lot of the old Popeye cartoons when I was a kid, just as part of the old cartoons block that was always on. But yeah, Rosie's seen a few of them. They're not really her favorite. She thought they were okay. She likes, as far as old cartoons go, she really likes Betty Boop, Little Lulu.
Who doesn't?
How
about
she likes? Cat? There's another one. What the fuck is it called? Mr. Piper's Fairy Tales or something like that. It's basically this guy. It's like a live action intro of this guy who's like supposed to be the Pied Piper, and he tells fairy stories, like fairy tales, and then he narrates them and stuff. And she really likes that because it's all different fairy stories and a lot of ones she recognizes from her, other experiences. But it's just this obscure thing I'd never even heard of before, and there's like a stack of episodes of it on her 200 cartoon set.
Yeah.
So we just basically marathoned all of them. And she really liked it.
I don't really dig that, but that's, it's not for me.
Oh, another one she really liked was Frady Cat.
Frady Cat, yes.
Which is actually, it's an old Filmation cartoon that is not on any of my other Filmation sets, so that was kind of a hidden gem for me as well.
Frady Cat's awesome.
Yeah, Frady Cat was hilarious.
Was Felix the Cat on there also?
Yep, there's actually she really likes... The Felix the Cat ones she likes are the really old, trippy ones.
Yeah. Felix the Cat is just awesome.
Yeah.
I want to do mind-altering drugs and watch Felix the Cat. I really do.
Yeah, Felix is...
And I won't smoke or inject anything, but I will drop some acid and watch some fucking Felix the Cat.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's trippy, not under the influence of anything. It's just trippy.
I just want to have an experience with Felix.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you'll have an experience with Felix, all right. Felix will take good care of you.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, that's the reason why Fritz
Welcome
the
back,
cat
Garbage Gamer.
exists. But yeah.
I don't know
And-
where my computer blue screens on me.
Oh, I hate that. Joker Tech said, who said that? Someone
happened to
said
me
they'd
the other
never.
night.
Oh, Nair said, I've never heard about Mountains of Madness. I've never seen a good Lovecraft adaptation. And Joker Tech goes, never seen good Lovecraft adaptation. Didn't miss the. Did you like Reanimator? I'm like, well, Reanimator's kind of an adaptation. It's kind of more like a inspired by.
There was a fan-made silent film version of Call of Cthulhu, which was actually quite good.
Yes, it is very good. Do not, under any circumstances, see the other Cthulhu film. Fuck, I'm gonna blank on it. I'm gonna go look for it. Hold on.
The thing that was cool about that film is they basically set out to make it as if it had been made back when the story was new. So they made it using a lot of the same techniques that would have been used at the time. So when you actually see the Cthulhu creature, it's a stop-motion creature.
Oh yeah, the movie called
And
Cthulhu.
it looks really cool.
There's a movie called Cthulhu from 2007, which is loosely based on Shadow over Innsmouth. But by loosely, I mean it's basically, here's Shadow over Innsmouth. Now let's squat over it, make a giant dump, and make a terrible movie. All right.
Excellent.
That's basically the example of it.
Sold.
So that's one thing I'm kind of confused about. Is it Cthulhu or Cthulhu?
Whatever you want.
Well,
Either or.
Is there
there's
any
no
preference?
proper way to say it.
Because if you actually say it right, Cthulhu appears and eats you.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's unpronounceable by the human tongue.
The funny thing
appropriate way to
is,
say
I
it.
usually say Cthulhu. I just heard a lot of people saying Cthulhu, so I started saying Cthulhu, trying to sound cool.
A lot of British people call it Cthulhu.
You're a hipster.
Yep.
The
I
other
got
really
swag, man.
Brian Yuzna did From Beyond and then also Dagon, which is a decent adaptation. Both of those are decent mythos films. Fuck, I just blanked. Lovecraft, good lord.
I picked up off of Steam, actually, the Cthulhu Saves the Earth.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
How's Dagon?
Dagon is awesome.
Is it? Because I actually
Yeah.
did read the original short story of that, and it was just
Shadow over the Innsmouth.
No,
No.
there's a really short one just called Dagon.
Oh, Dagon, the movie is based off Shadows over the Innsmouth, specifically,
Oh,
though.
well, that's kind of odd. Because there actually is a Dagon short story.
Yeah, well, you know.
But it was pretty basic. Just sort of this guy sort of stumbles into this cave and discovers one of the old ones. He's like, "Oh my god!" And yeah, it was creepy.
It's done by Stuart Gordon, and we all know Stuart Gordon's awesome. So, if it weren't for Stuart Gordon, we wouldn't have the awesome Castle Freak, which is one of my favorite Full Moon Pictures films.
Stuart Gordon, didn't he direct Reanimator?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
And From
Yeah.
Beyond. Did I mention? He's done
went From
three of them.
Yeah, NYC, I actually did pick up the Steam, the double pack that has both the Cthulhu Saves the World and Breath of Death on it.
Nice.
It's like is it Breath of Death 4? I thought it was like jokingly like Breath of Death 9 or something. Or something. I don't know. I've actually I have them. I've actually never played them though. I need to. I might live stream one of these days. Because it's very simple. They're like based off of a mix between like NES and Super NES RPGs.
I really wanted to play Cthulhu Save the World.
Nighthawk says that at the Mountains of Madness, Wicked Lovecraft story, the graphic novel was great. Apparently, there's a graphic novel adaptation.
Oh, the art in that's really good, actually. I didn't get to read it, but I flipped through it. It looks really nice.
Yeah, I
Really
heard they
nice.
were really short. They're mostly just novelty games. They're not actually really in-depth
like
games.
full games. Yeah.
Yeah, but you only paid like $3 for it, hopefully.
I didn't even pay that. I paid under $1.
Oh, that's good. Go Steam
I think
sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I did get them in a Steam sale.
Even if you paid $4-5 for them, that's still not that bad for what you play. I mean,
Yeah.
No.
for 2 games, yeah.
Yeah, my big so far, my recent claim to discount fame is getting the Arkham City Game of the Year edition for $3.
There you
Nice.
go. Yeah, I was just going to say, Garbage Gamer here, for those of you who don't know, is kind of gaining notoriety in our little group as being the king of the bargain hunters when it comes to games. He gets some stupid, crazy, cheap deals. Like, all the time.
Don't be afraid to go digital.
What?
Yes. Don't be afraid to go digital.
Well,
you can always
you know,
make hard copies later.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to go digital. I just prefer my media if I can get my media. That's
Yeah,
all.
no, I definitely go digital in a lot of cases, especially since you finally introduced me to Steam, and since I started actually actively picking up PSN cards to get stuff from the PSN store. Yeah,
As long as it's on your hard drive, you're fine. You know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, as long as it's on your account, you know, and you can re-download
Two
it if you need
services
to.
I believe to have to get
If the
best
PSN
deals.
crashes, you'll always be able to at least play your game because it's on your hard drive.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Steam, obviously, if you're any kind of bargain hunter, you got to have a Steam account.
Yeah.
They have ridiculous sales every day.
Like all the time.
And another,
yeah.
and another one is an account to greenmangaming.com with their little capsule launcher.
Desura is pretty good. I like Desura too.
Desura is good. I don't use Desura, but I'll let Skinslip fill you in on that one, I guess.
There's a lot of indie games in Desura, and
That's what I
cheap.
hear.
Just avoid Origin at all costs.
Yes, avoid Origins unless you have no choice.
Cash
Which,
Black.
4 games, I had no choice.
Cash Black has been posting links to his. He just did a complete overview series of his DVDs and Blu-rays, and just basically going through them alphabetically. And looks like 12 parts total. And he
Can
just
you drop a link to his channel here so I can take a look?
just sent me a message. It's This Hidden World, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check. Yeah, This Hidden World, all one word. So he just says, the final shelf of my collection overview. Sean, I have a new appreciation for your collection overview videos, as this was quite the task. Yes.
I've tried to do it 3 times, and I have not finished.
It is. You want to know how hardcore I am when I do those? The last overview I did, going shelf by shelf, I actually did all in one night.
I when I did my reorganization when I still lived with Samantha, I had that. Remember that photo on my Facebook that was like a stack taller than me?
Yes. Yeah.
That's when I was trying to do the overview. I was still going through that whole stack on video. I got halfway through the stack, and then my arms got tired, and I was like, no. I tried 3 times.
I should say I did the entire thing in one night, minus the last 2 or 3 shelves. So I did the vast majority of it in one night, and it was just like it was literally an all-nighter. Because, I mean, each one of those videos is I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. But I basically did all the intro segments for all the parts in one go. That's just one long take that I chopped up for each episode. And the outro segments as well. And then the rest, the shelves, I did all in one go as well. Well,
whose
NYC.
channel is this, by the way?
Pardon?
Whose channel is this I'm looking at?
This Hidden World. Oh, Cash Black's channel.
Cash Black?
Are
you always a disembodied head? Or body, I mean? Disheaded body?
Oh, yeah, he is.
Body?
Yeah, he
Okay.
is. He's accidentally shown his face a few times, but I think for the most part it's from the neck down, and often shots of his dog while he's showing stuff.
Yes, and NYC, as soon as, if and when it actually comes to the PSN, I will be buying that game.
Fatal Frame?
I will be getting Fatal Frame. Yes.
I will be taking a shot in the mouth for Fatal Frame also.
Rob Jensen says, when I did my collection overview, the room started to get hot. Once it was over, I had to run over to the window and open it.
Oh, God, tell me about it.
Sweating.
Jesus.
Yeah. Same here, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And your arms are all heavy and shit. You're like, oh,
It
God.
is. Well, at least the first overview video I did back in 2008, I did it all handheld, and you can hear as you go. And again, I did it all in 1 or 2 goes, and you can hear by the end of it, I'm actually getting winded.
I remember I watched that whole thing.
Yeah.
You're like, I think you even said Jesus is heavy at one point, and you're trying to aim the camera better. I was like, oh,
So
imagine trying to do, because I've also tried to attempt to do some sort of overview video of what I have. And imagine my pain when the only good camera I have is permanently wired to my damn computer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had that current problem, yes.
Well, for the
Trying to do it with a fucking web camera is evil.
For the 2012 overview, I actually mounted the camera on a tripod and just focused on that. But then still, it was exhausting because I was pulling out everything and showing the cover and then talking about them a little bit and stuff. And when I got down to the lower shelves, I'm like hunched over, pulling stuff out and showing it. It's just so freaking awkward.
Hurts your back so much.
It did, yeah. My back was killing me by the end of it. My legs were killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't realize this is a physical activity showing my shit to you.
It is. Well, and then some people were complaining about some of the awkward angles and shit. I'm like, fuck you. You have no idea what I went through to do those videos for you,
Yeah.
you ungrateful bastards.
What's Joker Tech's channel? Is it Joker Tech by off chance?
I think it's just Joker Tech, isn't it?
Raptor saying
You
that
watched my
PSN.
2012 video, I started breathing heavy. It's Joker Tech.
They're saying that PSN has Gex 1 and 3, but not 2. Like, what the fudge?
Yeah, that's odd. I noticed that, yeah.
Isn't Gex 2, wasn't that made by another company, and that's why?
Well, could be.
It's the same thing with... they did it for a while with the Resident Evil series and with the Twisted Metal games.
Yeah,
They had 2 and 3 of each of the series, but not 1.
that's weird.
They still don't have the first Twisted Metal on PSN, but they did finally release the director's cut of the first Resident Evil.
The
Took them for fucking ever.
yeah, Gex is one that I haven't played in a long time. I have the 3DO version. I also have a ROM version. Like, I actually own the 3DO version, but I actually got a ROM version of it as well, so I could stream it off the computer. But then I was also thinking it might be easier just to get it on the PS3, because I see that, you know, they have the first one there. Plus, the 3DO version was a little bit glitchy, so I'm hoping the PS3 or PS1 version fixed that, because I know it came out a couple years later.
For what game?
All I gotta say is for the PS1,
Gex.
when it comes to
Gex.
The original
glitchiness,
Gex. Yeah.
don't get your hopes up for fixing of glitchiness. PSN or PS1 has always kind of been notorious for having glitchy games.
Well,
So-
no, specifically the glitches that are on the 3DO
man.
version were with the sound clips. That, you know,
Oh.
the random dialogue that he says, like occasionally it would hiccup through it. Everything else
Oh
was
yeah,
fine.
that was
like,
probably.
gameplay-wise was fine. It was just the audio. And I think that was just due to the excessively low seek time of the CD drive at the time.
I was just going to say it has the PS1 has definitely a faster
Yeah.
reading optical drive and a better sound processor.
Yeah. The
So
the 3DO I think was just a single speed. It wasn't even a double speed, if I remember correctly.
I believe the PS1 was like 4x
Was it? Oh yeah.
or
so
something
that'd be-
like that.
So I was pretty
Like
sure
massively faster.
It just seemed to me like it was just a loading time issue. Like it was hiccuping.
Yeah.
'Cause it was just trying to load too much, like more than. it was
Embarrassingly
capable of loading.
enough, growing up, I actually never knew there was a 2D side-scrolling version of Gex.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I
That's
had always
the only
kind
one
of
I've played.
the only ones I'd played were the ones on the PS1 and the N64 in the later years, where they were all 3D.
Hmm.
They were all like platformers.
No, I loved it because it was an old school style platformer, but with some modern features, like in particular the voice of the character and whatnot.
Yeah,
But it
best
still had that old school
PS1
feel.
game.
It was a lot
Oh,
of fun.
geez, best PS1 game. I'm not gonna pick the obvious. I'm not gonna say Resident Evil 1, the director's cut.
Mhm.
But it's still a damn good game. But God, best PS, that's a hard choice. I mean,
Final
I could
Fantasy
go.
9 for me.
I can
Final
go
Fantasy
just
9.
the overall best game, or I can go the one that I had the most fun with. It wasn't my best.
Raptor says, so Sean, tell everyone about your newfound love for Zone of the Enders dubstep. Like, no.
I guess the most fun PS1 game I've ever had was actually a tie between two. That was Fatal Fury Wild Ambitions, which is one of the rare Fatal Fury games that was actually in 3D. and the first time the Time Crisis that was released with the Namco light gun.
Mm,
It was almost an arcade perfect port. It was fucking amazing.
nice. Raptor says Crash Bandicoot 2, best PS1 game and best trailers. Is that the one where? Well, I remember the first Crash Bandicoot had a lot of like Crash going to Nintendo headquarters and like protesting Mario and calling him out and stuff.
Yep.
Those are pretty funny.
Yep, good stuff there.
Yeah, those are pretty funny.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot 2 is fantastic. Much better than 1. It improved greatly on the first one, keeping all the great parts of the first one.
Yeah, as
every game should.
Any good sequel should, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Bandicoot 3 is still good, but I don't think they did enough different stuff. It just felt like number 2 with a few bits and bobs. Yeah,
more of the same.
Yeah,
Mott's the short version.
Worst PS1 game. Bubsy's the obvious choice.
Bubsy 3D, really? I played
Reloaded. Terrible.
I played the 2D, but like the original Bubsy on the Super NES. And
I love Bubsy and Bubsy 2.
I thought, yeah, I remember enjoying it. I rented it one night, but for a couple nights. I remember liking it.
Well, the worst PS1 game I had actually was Fighting Force 2. That game was so ass compared to the first one.
Whoa, Bubsy 3D looks like fucking diarrhea. I just Google image search. Just Google image search that. That is...
Skinslip, you and me, we're going to have a viewing session of the JonTron episode of Bubsy 3D.
Just looks like I want to gouge my eyes with toothpicks.
Let's see. I'm just going to do it real quick here so everybody can see.
Actually, I had more fun with SmackDown Stealth Patrol.
Bubsy 3D.
I was going to give you a link. It'd be easier for you, but whatever.
Wow.
Look how terrible that is. Yeah. It looks terrible.
Yeah. Wow, it looks so drab.
Yeah, see what's funny about it is they go, this is a platformer. And it is literally a platformer. It is a game with platforms.
No logical reason for anything to exist. That's one thing like Crash Bandicoot did, is that they made sense in the world that he was in.
Wow.
You know. It's just, what the fuck is that? It's an abomination, man. Like, oh, God.
A bit of trivia for people who don't know. When they were first developing the game Crash Bandicoot, they wanted to give a name for the style of gameplay.
So what are we looking at?
Instead of the side-scrolling, the going from behind, they ended up secretly just in the offices calling it Sonic's ass mode.
Oh God!
Because that's what they called it. That was, when you think about it, it's like, think of Sonic the Hedgehog except staring at his ass the entire time.
Nair NYC says, I really want full motion video games to make a comeback. Yeah,
Sewer Shark 2.
I kind of miss those. Yeah, Sewer Shark 2, absolutely. Sewer Shark really does not get enough love. It really deserves more love.
I want to hide that remake of it.
Yeah. See, I loved it because I loved all those Digital Pictures ones because they were cheesy B movies that you could play.
Yep.
You know, they were interactive B movies, and that's what people...
Sewer Shark felt like a Corman film.
Yeah, that's what people didn't realize about them. They go into them expecting what, like serious drama and immersion? No, they're cheesy B movies that you control the outcome of, and they are exactly what they intended to be. The acting is supposed to be cheesy and over the top, and melodramatic, and just bad in parts. I mean, that's part of the fun of it, and people were criticizing all of that, and it's like, you really don't get what these games are supposed to be. You are fucking idiots.
There actually is a legit VHS release of Night Trap.
Yep.
All the live action cinematic scenes sewn together into one big long movie that you can actually watch.
Oh wow!
Rob Jensen said, starting to realize the disadvantage of collecting. I get more than I watch. Battlestar Galactica, James Bond, Collection, Game of Thrones, Supernatural, Heroes, Star Trek, and I'm getting more stuff every time. Welcome to collecting.
Yep.
I literally, before I moved here,
Welcome to the club.
I had a stack of 200 movies I had never seen in my collection.
Yeah.
I've watched about 50 of those since.
I was just going to say, I'm officially at that point in my collection where I'm starting to get movies and just put them on my shelf, and I have not seen them yet.
Yeah, I've got a lot like that. Well, also all the stuff my viewers send me, just sort of adding to the pile of stuff that I haven't got around to watching. Sorry, was it Verminard says, get the serious drama and immersion in Wing Commander 3 and 4. Yes, that's very true. Those have excellent stories. And there
So is Wing
NYC
Commander
says,
too. They're just not live action.
Nair NYC says, remember the controversy behind Night Trap? Yes, it was actually Night Trap sharing the honor with Mortal Kombat that gave us the MA-17 rating for video games. Well, and actually gave us a rating system for video
I was going to
games.
say, it didn't just give us the MA-17, it gave us the ESRB.
It gave us all the ratings, yeah. But they were the first MA-17 games.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with rating a game. I have no problem. We rate movies.
Actually,
I have a problem with it being on the cover,
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I thank those proceedings, and I thank Night Trap and Mortal Kombat for giving us the ESRB, because it gives us as gamers the defense that we have when they say, these games shouldn't be sold. We're like, has a rating right here saying don't sell this to your kid. Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's you being a fucking idiot.
Yep.
You know? You know.
I didn't know Halo was mature. Like, well,
there's a
then
big
don't buy it for
M
your 7-year-old.
on the front of it.
Yeah.
What do you mean my 7-year-old isn't, Grand Theft Auto is inappropriate for my 7-year-old?
Yeah.
It's just a video game.
What do you
right?
mean? What do you mean? My
Just a
10-year-old
video
shouldn't be playing God of War?
Yeah.
You know. Did you not see the big bloody sworded guy on the front cover of the damn box?
Did you see the ESRB where it said nudity and sexual content?
Yeah, because I seriously want to see a
Pervasive,
7.
coarse language and
I totally want to see a 7-year-old doing the time action sex scenes from all the God of War games.
drug and alcohol use.
Yeah, I mean, God of War is way inappropriate for children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
And
so
I've heard of
awesome.
10-year-olds playing it, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
My 10-year-old's not going to play that. My 10-year-old's probably not going to play that, no. Unless I've deemed that my 10-year-old is smart and intelligent enough to be not stupid about it.
That's why I don't play online games like Call of Duty or much of Battlefield on voice, is because I know I'm just going to be bitched out by people who don't know what the curse words they're using even means.
Raptor Rivera says, Rob, that's the unwritten oath of a collector. You amass so much stuff and slowly watch it over time. Yes, while amassing more stuff in the meantime.
And then that time in which you have no job and you're broke is when you catch up.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is why we don't have cable, because there will never be something that there will never be a moment where we go, wow, we've watched everything.
When I had no internet for like 4 months last year, I caught up on a shit ton of stuff. I played all of Fallout 3, War of Cybertron, a bunch of PS2 games, and watched a shit ton of TV shows and movies that I've had sitting on the shelf for ages. It was great.
Yep.
And read some comics.
Yeah, I'm NYC. I'm kind of doing that with my nieces.
You have to repeat the question or comment.
Oh, he's saying that. Oh, it moved on me. Because my 10-year-olds are going to play Super Nintendo and Genesis.
Yeah.
Right.
My nieces are doing the same thing actually currently right now. They're playing. I have those plug-and-play games that have a bunch of arcade games like Galaga and Pole Position and stuff like that. Then I have an Atari one that plays Atari games. My niece loves those.
It's great because those are really easy for kids to pick up because they're
they're like $14, and you get like 10 awesome Atari
and you
games.
Don't have to worry about them breaking it.
No,
because it's like just go buy another one, whatever.
Actually, the other day, Rosie started playing the very first Sonic the Hedgehog game. And that's the first time she's ever played like a real video game before. I mean, she's played a lot of her educational games on the computer and stuff, but this is the first time, because I was playing some of Sonic CD, and she thought it looked really cool, and she asked if she could play, and I said, well, maybe how about if I put on the first Sonic the Hedgehog for you? It's a little bit, controls are a little bit simpler, and it's not quite as complicated. And she said, okay, sure. So and she loves the old Sonic games. So she was just blasting through the level, and she was collecting rings, getting killed a lot, but she was like, she was actually doing really well. She almost made it to the first boss fight, which is like Act 3. So I got a little bit of video of her playing. Just I thought I gotta immortalize this moment here.
Yeah.
Rosie's first experience of being a gamer.
Yeah.
And one day he'll show it, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
would love to see that.
He'll only show it
Because,
to us.
You know, because back then there wasn't many videos, but there is a picture. I will admit to this. There is a picture of me in a diaper playing Duck Hunt. So
You need to
I forgot
scan
you're younger
that
than me,
and
so yeah.
post it.
I know.
Yeah, you need to. That needs your profile photo for like a month.
Yeah.
And it's just.
That's great.
And they're like, how long have you been a gamer? I don't even need to say how long. I just go, there's a picture of me in a diaper playing Duck Hunt.
There you
And
go.
I go, I get it.
It was love at first sight.
Yeah. I mean, I was.
It was
There's
love.
a picture of me in a diaper playing an Apple IIe or whatever it is, so.
It was love before the NES,
controller.
actually, because even before that, when I was even younger, I have like shots of memory because I was like 2, 3, sitting next to my dad while he plays Treasures of Tarman on the Intellivision
Nice.
and the Dreadnought Factor and stuff like that.
Awesome. Rob says, I keep planning to start a thing where I see a James Bond and review it each week. Hopefully this weekend I actually start that. Yeah,
You should, Rob.
I've been meaning to do that with a few franchises. I've been meaning to do that with all the Batman movies and with the Alien franchise. And I keep doing bits and pieces and then just never doing videos about them. So, yeah, it's tough.
Trust me.
Because when you start something like that, you really got to commit to it. Because otherwise, people would just bug you about it forever.
One of these days, I'm going to do a issue-by-issue overview and examination of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
We're still waiting for that.
I know. I have literally pages of notes. Literally. I went through every single page, every panel, and made notes.
Manic says, I got started on the Intellivision and ColecoVision. My first experience with video games was actually a home Pong system, which my parents picked up from Radio Shack. It was a realistic brand Pong setup. That was a lot of fun. Then about a year after that, one of our family friends actually got an Atari 2600. So I played games at his place sometimes. I was like, wow, it's in color, and it's not just a paddle and ball. Amazing. Then a few years after that, some of my other friends got an Intellivision, so I played Intellivision games at their place. I thought it was awesome. And then a couple of years after that, we got a ColecoVision, which I still own. And then I got the Atari 2600 expansion module for it. And yeah, never actually owned any of the Nintendo systems, actually, but my friends and I used to rent them quite a bit.
NYC had the...
And sorry, I was just going to say, Spotted Feather says I started with the Apple IIe. Yes, Alibaba. Oh my God. Okay, I was just going to say, as far as computers went, was the Apple IIc, which is the same thing as the IIe, just had 128K instead of 64K memory. But Alibaba is one of the games I used to play all the time, funny enough.
And Lode Runner. Don't forget Lode Runner.
And Lode Runner, yes.
Loved Lode Runner. Played Lode Runner. I've still never found a game. I loved that version of Lode Runner. No other version of Lode Runner has ever satisfied me. Just
really?
that one.
The Apple IIe version?
Yes.
Yeah.
NYC was one of the lucky people to grow up with a Vectrex.
Oh, yeah.
I have a
lucky
Vectrex
few,
somewhere. I think it's in Washington. I bought it at a pawn shop.
I wouldn't do anything to just have 10 minutes and play a fucking Vectrex.
Raptor Rivera says save the Alien franchise and Cabin in the Woods for your Halloween videos. Actually, I've already done Cabin in the Woods. I talked about it extensively in the update video because I watched it before I did the update. Alien franchise I might save. I don't know. Possibly. That was actually the original plan, was to do it for Halloween, this past Halloween, but I just never got around to it. Batman I can basically do anytime. I was originally going to do it around the time of The Dark Knight Rises, but obviously that didn't work out.
So we go, Alex, go save Brandon.
I don't want to save him in the slightest.
I turn around for 1 freaking minute and thing crashes. Thank you very much. Google Hangouts.
Yeah. Droll, I vaguely remember that. I think some friends of mine told me about it, but I never actually played it. Oh, another one I played a lot was Montezuma's Revenge. Loved Montezuma's Revenge.
I was too young to play that.
Not the Atari one?
No. At the time I was playing games on the Apple IIc. This was, I guess I got the ColecoVision in like 82 or 83, and then got the Apple IIc in 85. So around the same time that I was playing stuff on the Apple IIc, all my friends had Commodore 64s. So when I would go over to their place, I would play their games. When they'd come over to my place, they'd play my games. And it was great
That's
because
how it works, yes.
there wasn't any rivalry or, fanboyishness at the time. It was just like, oh, cool, you've got games I haven't played because they're not on my system. And that was it. So we'd go back and forth and play games at each other's houses, playing stuff that they didn't. I remember my friends actually had the Commodore version of Montezuma's Revenge. And I remember thinking, like, wow, this actually has way better graphics and sound than mine.
Yeah, see, I remember those days of not
fanboys didn't
fanboyism.
show up till Genesis and Super Nintendo. That's when it really did.
No, actually,
true.
for me, it didn't show up until PS2 Xbox, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually, because I still had that mentality even way back then, was, I had a Genesis, so my friend had a Super Nintendo. I went over to his house for the same reason, to play games that the Super Nintendo had that the Genesis didn't.
Yeah.
And that's where I first experienced Street Fighter. I first experienced Biometal and stuff like that.
Oh,
It was at my friend's house because he had it.
In like the 16, I mean, I used to rent NES systems all the time. But then when the 16-bit era came around, I owned a Sega Genesis and the Sega CD, as you know. But my friends,
I had that and 32X.
But I never had the 32X. But I had the Sega Genesis, Sega CD, and then we would rent a Super Nintendo all the time. So I could play Genesis games whenever. But then the Super Nintendo was like the weekend treat.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That was actually the reason why there's fanboyism. Was the marketing for those systems.
It's very true. That's really where it started.
It was the viral marketing they did back then. Is what pretty much spawned fanboyism.
It wasn't viral marketing. It was just marketing. Viral marketing came to the late 90s, early 2000s.
They tried doing that a little bit back in the days of the Intellivision, with the Intellivision showing off how much better its graphics were than the 2600. But it didn't really spawn any fanboyism that I could see. It was still the same thing. It's like, oh, cool, games, different games on different systems.
Yes.
I want them all.
Yes, it was all about the blast processing.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
God, see, but then Nintendo answered back the whole thing of blast processing with the Super FX chip.
Yeah, the Super FX chip
waving
was pretty cool.
Waving their schlong around.
Yeah. Hey, Star Fox, man. The original Star Fox, I still love that game.
What's funny is a lot of people don't know there's actually two iterations of the Super FX chip.
Mm-hmm.
The FX and the FX2. Games like Star Fox was the Super FX chip. Right. FX2 was what was that 3D racing game?
Oh.
The one with the goofy characters.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I never actually played it. I just knew that there was a Super FX racing game.
But that was a Super FX 2. If you notice, it is actually it's superior.
Really?
It has full polygonal graphics with textures on them.
Oh, okay.
And that was what it was. That's what... That was its big thing.
Right.
Genesis had a similar thing with the Virtua Racing. They had a special chip in the cartridge.
Yeah, the Genesis had a 3D chip in it as well.
Yeah.
Because we got like Virtual Racer and stuff like that on it.
Virtual Racing is one of my favorite games of all time, actually.
On the Genesis.
That whole idea just blew me away at the time. The whole idea of real-time generated 3D graphics like that. And I knew as soon as I started to see that, it's like, yep, this is the future. This is where it's going. They just got to get get fast enough processors that it can do it in a little better quality, and this will be where it's going.
I only owned two 32X games: Star Wars the arcade game, which is still, in my opinion, the finest Star Wars game released on a home system.
Oh, I love Star Wars.
PS1 or later.
I used to play the actual arcade game of that all the time.
Exactly. That's the thing about 32X is they actually had a co-op mode for the game, where one person got to be the gunner, one person was the pilot.
Stunt Racer FX. That's what it was.
And the other one
was
Virtual Racing 32X. Virtual Racing. Sega's Virtual Racing 32X, whatever.
Yeah, surprisingly good.
Great.
The 32X version.
Amazing. The best version of the game, because it never came out after that.
Verminart says playing...
No, actually it did. There was a Saturn release.
Verminart says playing Doom on floppy disk as shareware takes me back. I remember that.
Loading up my family game disc, typing in HRS, and loading into the menu and playing Duke Nukem 1 and 2.
A friend of mine was really... He was a former Amigan who defected to the PC. I guess that was my first experience with fanboyism, was Amiga versus PC. Because Amiga was definitely better. But anyway, Doom was Doom was about to come out, and he was on some like file sharing server somewhere.
BBS probably.
And it was
BBS,
no, it was like an early form of the internet. It was all text based, but there was a thing that what was it? There was this place they used to log into all the time, and there were so many people logging in around that time. 'Cause this is when Doom Episode 1, the shareware episode, was about to be released, and it was all a lot of buzz surrounding it, because everybody who played Wolfenstein was looking forward to Doom, because they knew Doom was going to be the next level, because it had like multiple levels and stairs and stuff. It wasn't just all straight like Wolfenstein was, and ceilings and lighting effects and stuff. So it was a big deal at the time. So everybody and their dog wanted it, and so he kept logging in every time. And then the couple days before the release, he would log in. There'd just be a message saying, "We don't have Doom yet." Basically saying, "Stop overloading our servers. It's not here yet."
That's awesome.
Comes out in 2 days.
I mean, all my feelings about the whole like early computing / early internet stuff, I did an article on Geeky about a month ago or so called "My Memories."
I didn't do that article, but
anyway. Yeah, my memories of the early. You can still do it. It's your own memories, you know. My memories of the earliest of the internet.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
File sharing, because it literally, I've been doing file sharing since AOL. All right.
Wow.
When I first got my first computer, I had my own AOL account. I mean, my dad had to fight over the goddamn modem. Right? This is when I started becoming a night owl, and he would go to bed at 10, and I would stay till 1 in the morning. I knew I could go to school in 5 hours of sleep. I would be downloading stuff from like DVDs and from message boards and news groups, and yeah.
Buddy, the beginnings of me being a night owl actually was back dial up. Yeah, back. I think it was. Back. It was like 2001, but I was playing on GameSpy arcade. And I was playing Giant Citizens Kabuto online.
I guess sort of what turned me into a night owl was when I got the Apple IIc, because I used to stay up really late playing video games and working on my movie scripts and stuff like that I was writing at the time. So just to interject quickly, Nair NYC mentions Populous as being one of the few Sega Genesis cartridges to have the yellow tab. I actually have the Amiga version of Populous. I used to play that all the time. Loved it. And Buddy Lambert says, I loved the original Prince of Persia. Also have the Amiga version of that. Hard as hell. They actually have that available on the PSN now. You can actually download it. And thank you for reminding me of that, actually. That's one I want to get. I should see how much it is.
I want the original Prince of Persia. I played the original Prince of Persia in my computing class in 6th grade, when I didn't actually have to do any of the work, because the first day I showed up, we're logging into the local area network, and I managed to hack into the teacher's computer and send a system-wide message saying the computer's crashed, go to sleep now, and all the computers shut down. And my teacher said, "Who did that?" And he's like, "No one's leaving until
they did
Yellow
it." Tab.
I was like, "It was me."
Yellow tab. Yeah.
The teacher said, "You don't have to do any of this work because obviously you know what you're doing." Gave me an A in the class. I became his teacher's assistant.
Awesome. Here's a question I think both of us can answer. Skinslip Raptor asks, I'm a newbie to reading comics, but let me hear your thoughts. Does the show Comic Book Men do justice to comic book fans?
Yes.
Absolutely yes. It
you didn't finish the
absolutely
sentence.
does.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you see this? Did you see this week's episode?
I have not seen it yet.
Oh, and I saw it before you this week.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean. I guess my private source is pretty good sometimes.
I've just been busy. I forgot to download it last night, but I'll grab it before I go to bed tonight.
There we go. The collector's edition of Doom.
Nice.
I would totally own that, actually. That would be the thing I would...
And what's cool about this is it runs off a modified version of something called Skulltag, which pretty much allows it to... The discs aren't in here, they're in my case. It allows it to run in Windows 7. So you can play old Doom on your modern PC.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Vermin Art says, I would skin, because skin slips just you right for geeky.com. It says, I feel my writing is a bit repetitive. I stick to artwork mainly, stuck on a massive retro-inspired artwork. And there's nothing wrong with that, because your artwork is fucking awesome. Well, so everybody check out Vermin GTI on YouTube if you want to see some of his stuff. And I think it's also Vermin GTI on DeviantArt.
Give it a good couple episodes. I'll get them writing articles. Just give me some time.
There you go. we'll keep working on you there, Vermin.
Don't worry, Vermin. I'm not going to stop harassing you about it, just so you know. I'm going to send you private messages on DeviantArt. I mean, jeez, dude.
We know where you live. Well, on the internet anyway.
I know where your internet presence is, bro.
That's right. What is this? Oh, Bubsy 3D. I'm a little slow on the links.
Now I just gotta get Vermin Art to draw my comics, and we'll make beautiful comics.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that this even exists. The copy of Daytona USA Deluxe for the PC.
I have that.
Or Sega PC.
Sega PC.
Sega PC.
There you go.
Yep.
They did a whole line. They did Virtual Cop too.
Nice.
They also did Virtua Fighting 1 and 2. And they also did... I'm trying to remember what it was. Sonic Spinball. No, Sonic 3D. Sorry, Sonic 3D.
I was saying that
was
Spinball. That'd be fucking awesome. A PC remaster of it. That'd be great.
Actually, really.
Because as much as I really do, also enjoy and have Sonic Spinball, it is a very clunky actual pinball game.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
It's like a slow Sonic game with pinball.
Oh, it did come out for the PC, by the way. Spinball.
It did?
Yeah, listed on Wikipedia as part of PC.
I did not know this.
Probably can get it through. Is it through Steam at all?
I know you can get to the Genesis emulated version.
No. It's, I mean, like, they did an actual PC version.
That's what I know a lot of the Sonic games are. Even Sonic CD.
Excuse me.
Is just Genesis or Sega CD up converted.
And yes, Nights into Dream was released for Windows. Vermin.
Yes, it was.
That was also part of that. I forget. That's one I was forgetting.
I knew that, but I didn't know it. Spinball.
Were you able to use the mouse for Virtual Cop?
Yeah, I remember that. It was.
That's kind of cool.
That'd be awesome.
You can do that. You can do it now with. I got a Sega Model 2 emulator up and running with a bunch of games.
Nice.
That's cool. Maybe you should send the hardware portion of that to me so that I can, or the software portion of that.
I should, yeah. I haven't seen.
I don't need the games, just the emulator part.
I actually should, because they are really hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get them in a pack, pretty much. But if you want me to, yeah, I can separate out just the emulator.
Yeah, I just want the emulator. I have all the ROMs, so
yeah.
I'm gonna have some cookies. Excuse me.
Yay, cookies!
I did for a little while.
Golden Oreos.
Did get working fairly well. I have a video of it up and running, of a Sega Model 3.
Funk Monk in the house.
Model 3s are not compatible with
Funk.
certain games. That much I know.
Model 3 was hard to get up and working because that has like, when you go to a modern, to an arcade now, you see like the Star Wars game that's the big pod race thing. Those are Model 3 games.
Oh, I'm thinking like the actual model of the unit. The Genesis Model 3, the little one.
No. I'm talking about
you
the
got Moose's
Sega Model
attention
3.
with cookies.
Mm.
Cookies!
Yeah, that's why I said Sega Model 2 is is games like Virtual Cop 2, Virtual Fighter, all the Virtua games, Virtual
Well,
On.
I'm gonna need the games for those then. I didn't realize it was an arcade machine.
No, yeah, these are arcade machine parts. That's another thing people don't know is the Dreamcast is actually just a home version of the Sega Naomi.
Yep.
Which is the Sega Naomi. I forgot what the Naomi actually did. It played Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I do know that.
It was just a board basically for the arcade machine, wasn't it?
It was a board, but it actually was in a case. And if you actually look at the Naomi case, it does look a lot like a big Dreamcast.
Favorite movie robot, Jinx from Space Camp.
I'm see if I can find a picture of it.
Dude, I just got Space Camp on DVD. Oh, I love that movie. Huey and Dewey from Silent Running are my favorite
How about
robots.
Hector from...
There you go, Skinslip.
that one with Harvey Keitel.
That's the Naomi.
Why can't I remember it?
That's a Dreamcast.
I'm
Yeah.
going to have to look it
Yeah,
up now.
it's a Dreamcast, pretty much. And here's the... I'll show you the Model 2 and Model 3 as well. I actually... Yeah, I won't show you. They just look like giant arcade boards. I know the Model 3 actually had a chassis.
Saturn 3, that's what it was.
Oh,
Hector from
Saturn 3, yes.
There we go.
But he didn't have the personality that Huey and Dewey did. It's that running.
Whatever, there's tits in that movie, okay? That's all you need.
Yeah, but only one of those is Bruce Dern.
Well, so...
He's almost as good as tits. I'm sorry. If I could rub Bruce Dern in my face, I think I'd be a happy man.
Bruce Dern, as good as tits.
I want that as a shirt. I want that as a shirt. God damn it.
Bruce Dern, as good as tits.
And then like an artist rendition of like Bruce Dern with a pair of tits. You know, why not? Go full 9.
Too funny.
So wrong.
But so right.
It's part of the new Hollywood Silent Running. It's done by Douglas Trumbull, effects artist. You know, so Silent Running is amazing. Silent 3 is good. Don't get me wrong. It's been a long time since I've seen it though.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I remember thinking Harvey Keitel was a real sleaze in that one, which he was.
Cool. Andrew from Bicentennial Man. I like that one.
Oh, it's Kirk Douglas and Farrah Fawcett. Holy
There you go.
shit! I need to see Farrah Fawcett. I need to see Need to see Saturn 3 again.
That's a Model 2, by the way.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's
That sounds
one
like-
big-ass board. It actually has a daughter board that sits on top of it. Those are the interchangeable games, pretty much.
Interesting. Alright.
If you want more information, here's like a big, massive catalog list of all the different arcade boards.
Oh, I
Everything-
actually have a book, this website bookmarked already.
Arcade Base?
Yep.
Okay, talking about because ones I actually didn't know until I started building my own arcade machine, was I was learning about the CPS ones, the 1.5s and the 2s. Played a lot of the games I remember playing, like Alien vs. Predator and shit.
One of the
And
best
by-
games ever.
And Ed 209 is one of my favorites also because he barks.
Why
like a
did we
dog.
not get a better home port of AVP the arcade brand? There
Yeah.
is a
Super
Super
Nintendo
NES
one's
port.
okay. What was that, Alex?
I said there was a port? I don't remember that ever.
Yeah, for the Super Nintendo.
There was a
It's
Super
kinda
Nintendo port, but it was pretty bad.
It's not that bad. It has a lot of flickering issues. Big thing.
This
Yeah.
one.
And slowdown, I heard.
It actually emulates better than the original gameplay, which is really funny.
But yeah, I remember when I played it for the first time, I actually did remember. I don't remember anymore, sadly, but I used to know the code to put in to get infinite power rail. to shoot your laser down.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always set to 99 and flashing. So you just like run through the entire game, just pressing that button. It just goes. This thing's just exploding everywhere.
Yay! Things exploding.
All right, take it easy, Rob.
Later, Rob.
Bye, Rob.
Have a good night. Well, good luck with starting the Bondathon.
Yep. I have not seen all the James Bond movies. I've seen a good chunk of them, though.
Ed 209.
Okay.
Ed 209 is a damn good robot, I have to.
I mean, you can't take
agree with
stairs,
that.
though. You can't take stairs.
No.
To
But he
correct
tries. Oh, he tries.
Oh, yes.
To correct my bit of information from earlier, I would like to correct that the Sega Model 3 is the Naomi and was the base for the Dreamcast.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right,
So I
then.
just thought I'd
Fine.
clear that up.
Correct yourself. Arcade parts. I think my favorite arcade system is the Neo Geo. I just loved some of the games that came out for that. Metal Slug, Aero
Yes.
Fighters, that Sega Rally game, the Neo Geo Rally or whatever. Just that Classic Game Room did when he was at his machine. He was like playing as his demo was that rally game. I was like, I must have this game. I got an emulator and I played it. And I was playing it for like 4 hours straight. I was like, this game is amazing.
I have three personal favorites: the Neo Geo, the CPS2, and the Sega Model 2. Because each one has like one game that has just like pulled me in. It was the CPS2. It was Street Fighter 3. Just such amazingly smooth animation for that. This Neo Geo obviously was Metal Slug. It was Metal Slug 2. Is what pulled me in. And then for the CPS2, it was Wave Runner.
Wave Runner.
The big giant Wave Runner.
Yeah.
If I can remember that thing.
Okay,
Oh,
this game
plus
is
the move.
not the arcade
Plus the move.
game, and it's very disappointing.
No, I said it was a good port of it. It's not
No,
bad.
it's not even a port. It's not the same game.
Side-scrolling fighter. That's what the arcade machine
Oh
is.
yes, but then all side-scrolling fighters are the same, but this has none of the same feel.
Well, because it can't have even remotely the same feel. They have to redo the whole thing from the ground up because of
That's
the
their
graphics
problem.
limitations of this SNES. Yes.
Not even the chick with the guns. She was awesome, and the dude with the robo arm.
I always played as the Predator Warrior.
Which one? Both of them were different.
Well, there's There's a Predator Hunter and a Predator Warrior.
Oh, you played the warrior. Okay,
I played the
I
bigger
get what
warrior.
you're saying now.
He's the one with the staff, pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
Staff with a blade on the end.
badly.
All right.
Because he had that awesome spin.
Warrior is about to die.
Blue Valkyrie has shot the food, and then everyone turns to Blue Valkyrie. What the fuck, man? God.
Love the old gauntlet.
I absolutely love Gauntlet 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the best part is, when you get the NES ones for Gauntlet 1 and 2, completely different games, the same system, essentially. So all the levels are different. Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's like 100 new levels.
I still,
That's
Oh,
awesome.
so
for people that
Midway Classics emulation for the win.
We should play some Alien Breed at some point. It's
yes, we should.
think of Gauntlet, but with aliens.
Well, someone needs to pick it up for me because I don't have the money.
That's basically it.
This is where I link people. They go, if you want a fairly low cost, really high quality arcade style controlling experience for your computer or for anything really arcade, go to xgaming.com. Pick up the X arcade parts.
Oh, God. I want one of those so bad.
I actually bought, that's what's in my arcade machine are the X arcade parts. And they are exactly from what I remember when as a kid. The only thing I wish they had options for would be a cherry top for the joysticks. They have tournament style, which is fine, but I'm glad they do have the concave buttons.
I'm probably just gonna get a Hori controller, a USB Hori controller.
I
really like Hori parts.
People swear by the convex tournament buttons, but for me, I'm going for nostalgia, not accuracy. So, and for me, nostalgia is the convex, the black or the multicolored convex buttons, the big clicky ka-thunk buttons that were on every arcade machine when I was a kid.
Oh, Raptor. You know what? You can safely skip over the prequel movies and just watch the original trilogy. You will not fall asleep during the original trilogy. That's a good time.
Original. It's not. There's not Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Raptor says the only time I've seen a Star Wars film was when I watched an hour of The Phantom Menace. I fell asleep.
I'm sorry.
Don't blame you.
I saw that in theater. I've seen every Star Wars film in theater.
I've seen every Star Wars film except for Revenge of the Sith in the theater.
I saw Revenge of the Sith on the very first projection, high def projector in Los Angeles.
Nice.
And high def projector at the Cinerama.
That's
excuse me. Yeah, it's beautiful. I was like, this movie's pretty bad. Oh, fuck, Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells like a Hot Pocket. Oh.
You just gas yourself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tear gas.
Yeah.
Taste it.
It's
bad. It's a real heavy one, too. Jeez, I'm watching myself in this thing. Just going,
That's what it was. I'm reading. Good Lord, man. I'm reading through some of the information about the X-Arcade tank stick.
Yeah.
Because I remember that the whole slogan was why they called it a tank stick is because it's built like a freaking tank, is actually what it says. But the quality of the material and the grade of the buttons are bulletproof. Literally bulletproof. And after actually getting some of these parts, I can see why. The joystick itself has a solid stainless steel joystick. Just make a thunk.
I saw... Sorry, Spotify, they said I saw Return of the Jedi in the theaters in 1983. Muska asks, any regrets about seeing all of them in the theaters? Absolutely no. I saw... what was it? I was 5 when I saw the original Star Wars in the theater. Saw it a couple of times. My parents thought it was awesome, so they took me a couple times. Saw Empire a couple times in the theater again. I would have been, I guess, 8. And then saw Return of the Jedi when it came. I think it was opening day or second day or something. So I would have been 11 at the time when those came out. So I was like the perfect age to just become completely enraptured in Star Wars.
Yeah. I saw them all about that age in revivals. And then when I was a teenager, special editions came out.
I didn't see the special editions in the theater. I actually didn't see those until I got the VHS set for Christmas one year.
Oh, I saw them in theater because it was something me and my dad wanted us to do. And I was like, sure,
oh my god, skin slip, get out of my head.
I'm sorry.
That is the same thing me and my dad did back in the mid-90s when the remasters came out in theaters.
Yeah. My dad saw each of the re-releases 3 times.
Nice.
I have all 3 ticket stubs.
Nice.
And I remember...
my first ticket stub. I don't have the other 2.
I remember watching New Hope and watching the film and going, Princess Leia has pokies. And I'm thinking, oh, I wish I could see this at home. And
in the dark,
and the HD transfers still aren't high enough quality to see the pokies.
I wish I still had a lot of my. I had Taco Bell toys.
Yes, I had all those too. The puzzle box, the
puzzle box, the Death Star,
the Darth Vader Yoda thing. The box with one side is the one side the other.
That thing blew my mind when I was a kid.
Sorry, just to catch up on some of the text comments here. Vermin says, I just want them to release the original theatrical cuts of the original trilogy. I'm sick of all the changes.
Of course.
Funk Monk says, I went to see the re-release of Empire Special Edition. I guess it was. Spotted Feather says, I don't mind the little tweaks like the expansion of Obi-Wan's house and Mos Eisley. It's the major changes like the CGI creatures I don't like.
I only have a problem with Greedo shooting first. That's the only problem I have about special edition.
That's the
everything
big
else
issue
is like
for
whatever.
sure. Muska says, I went to go see the reissue of the 3 Star Wars movies with my dad, but he encouraged me to see the originals first on VCR. I borrowed them from the library. Excellent. And Raptor says, correction, I've seen the ending to Revenge of the Sith. The battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan was pretty cool. Again, I'm a Star Wars virgin, so I know there are better battles in the franchise. The problem with the battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan, I mean, obviously they're trying to make it as big and epic as they possibly can, because it's a huge moment in the story.
It was a little too big and too epic.
But yeah, it just gets
kept going.
It goes on way too long, and it just gets to the point of being completely ridiculous in how over the top it is. And
Revenge of the Sith is my least problematic of the original trilogy, I have to say.
Yeah. The
one I would go back and watch again, no problem.
Of the prequel trilogy, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry. The prequel trilogy, derp.
Yeah. It's actually, for me, honestly, it's Attack of the Clones. I actually like that one a little bit better.
See, and I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Phantom Menace could just never be shown again.
You would have to hold a gun to my head to watch the first one again.
I will watch the first one again when they finally release the theatrical cuts of the Star Wars ships, because I'll then have all of them, because it's probably going to come in some giant set or whatever.
Yeah. My first experience was... actually, that box set that's down on my shelf, the THX black box releases of Star Wars.
Verminart says, my first taste of Star Wars was the VHS widescreen versions of the originals pre-special edition, early 90s. My brother purposely waited until I was about 9 or 10. I hate him for it because I love the originals to addiction levels. The perfect
You should
age.
love him for that. And say, I appreciate you showing me the originals.
Spotty Feather asks, how long is it between the end of Revenge of the Sith and the beginning of the first Star Wars? It seemed like Obi-Wan aged a lot more than he should have.
2 decades? 20 years, right?
It's supposed to be
18 years. 18 years.
Is it 18 years? Yeah, so it's 18 years.
Yeah, because Luke is 18.
Go with that.
Yeah.
Basically, the end of the movie. End of the movie is Luke and Leia get born. So.
Oh, and I hated that. I'll call this one Luke. Well, thanks for ruining the freaking movie for me in the future, dicks. Just totally ruined the surprise of Return, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why would you do that? I don't care about the no, like whatever, that's whatever.
No.
But the fact that she names the children, and then the big revelation in Return is not a big revelation anymore.
Yeah.
It's pointless. It's gone.
Oh, I know. It's not. It's one of many things that they spoiled.
The Vader no yell sounds exactly like someone just saying no, and then them taking like that voice modulator and going no.
No. No. Okay, I want you to sound like a whiny bitch. No.
I don't have a problem with the no in Revenge of the Sith. I do have a problem with the no in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
That should not have been added.
It's stupid.
It ruins that
stupid
scene. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
And
just to make it seem more cohesive. Shut up. Just shut up, you fat old fuck. I really thought we would not get a real Star Wars until Lucas died. Thank you, Disney, for basically getting him out before he died. Before in 50, I can actually see the real.
It's like, thank you, Disney, for taking George Lucas out to the back and shooting him in the head.
Well, thank you for not requiring us to hire assassins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Stop him before he arcs
Here's some money,
again.
now leave.
No, Obi-Wan is like age 30 by the end of Revenge. He gets 18 more years, 48. He just old. Some people look old when they're like that old.
Well, he's been living in the desert, and the sun does age you a lot more rapidly than staying out of the sun.
Verminard goes, and blinking Ewoks. He goes, I like my fuzzy tiny bears unblinking.
I actually don't care about the blinking Ewoks, to be honest with you. I don't really notice. I didn't notice, really.
They only blink a couple of times anyway.
Yeah.
Just because they could.
But that's the part of the thing that doesn't bother me that much. It's things that ruin emotional moments or spoil emotional moments.
Spotted Feather says we didn't need to hear the no. We could read the emotion on Vader's helmet when he was deciding what to do.
Vader's helmet.
Yes, his helmet.
I think actually, him just standing there silently
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it kind
Disney.
of slumped slightly. It wasn't perfect.
He's silent torment. I mean,
Disney
he's
old
looking
yeller.
back and forth. You
Disney
get
old
it.
yeller.
You sense it. You're not
Yeah.
adding that in there is talking down to the audience. It's treating us
Maybe
like
a close up of
idiots.
his fist clenching, just to give him a little bit more oomph. I mean, that. This is why I should have done it. I should have directed it.
Vermin says, "I'm surprised you didn't add a squelch noise to the eyelids, just to emphasize it even more."
Like I said, Manic, I'm writing that one down. This is so Disney old yeller to Lucas.
Yes.
Took
Pretty
him
much.
out
Sorry,
behind the
you were trying to
barn
say
and
that for like 2 minutes.
put him out of our misery.
Thankfully.
See, this is why I say, I've been saying this since day one when it was first announced that Disney bought Lucasfilm. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is horrible! What a travesty!" It's like, think about this for a second. This is actually the best thing that could have happened to it.
How? It's like now think about it for a second. How could it be any worse than George Lucas running the series anymore?
Well, yeah,
Seriously,
that too.
how worse could it get? They're not going to.
I'll emulate the people for you. But Disney's a horrible company. They do horrible things with all their products.
Avengers.
Blah, 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 blah.
Avengers.
Like Avengers. What? That wasn't Disney. That was Marvel.
Yeah,
Avengers.
and who owns Marvel?
What? Avengers was done by Marvel.
Uh-huh.
Here you go for whenever you want to watch.
And
This is
who
the
owns
sound
Marvel?
effect. This is the sound effect I would love to hear for the blinking for the Ewoks.
Oh God.
Oh, that's like
what is
freaking
it?
spasm-inducing.
Oh,
Holy
hold
shit!
it. I have to click. Is it this YouTube link here?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's spasm-inducing because of the cut.
Yeah, the cut's kind of weird, but you can hear it at least.
Yeah, the SpongeBob blinking noise. God.
Titled, "This video contains blinking."
Just so everyone else can follow along, it's youtube.com/that. That way you guys can watch it. That way you can hear it.
That blinking sound in Star Wars for all the Ewoks. Just when the Ewoks
There we
all
go.
appear, all you hear is.
Yep. Pretty much that. Nobody's gonna laugh.
LOL's just.
Stop! Okay.
It's an awkward cut too because they show like a quick frame of
single
another
frame.
scene.
It's like a frame of something else.
It's
And,
lazy cutting.
yeah, that's what it is.
It would have been it would only be worse if Brett Ratner or Michael Bay bought the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, at least it's not Michael Bay. Ugh.
Oh,
And the day
God.
they announced Michael
Or
Bay,
Brett Ratner.
I flip a table and say "fuck you."
And the director of Episode 8, Michael Bay. Episode 9, Brett Ratner. No.
And we're like, we haven't heard of Sean from Sean in a few weeks. Cass comes on, yeah. So Sean heard that Brett Ratner and Michael Bay were doing Star Wars, and he hung himself with his belt.
He choked himself with all of his Star Wars stuff. You don't
He
want to
gorged
know.
himself on Boba Fett figures. We don't know where he got them from.
You do not know where he. You do not want to know where he stuffed the tauntaun.
Oh no! But we're getting it washed and we're selling it on eBay in his memory.
Give it a wash.
Yep. And everything goes silent.
Yes.
You should be going to bed soon, Sean. Don't you have to get up early tomorrow?
It's Saturday.
Yeah, but you also have a daughter who'll wake up at 6 anyways.
Yeah, I shall watch cartoons.
Like, I'm hungry. I don't care.
No, I put
Go
food
watch
out.
cartoons.
I feed her, but
Okay.
but no. So she'll let me sleep until she gets bored, and then she'll come in and start piling all her toys on top of me.
You gotta film that one day. When you know it's gonna come. I gotta see this video.
Just have a camera set
I'll
up.
just be laying there, and she'll be very gently, like, putting toys all over me.
That's
And then I'll
amazing. You gotta film that.
And I'll just, like, wake up and it's like, and then I'll roll over, and it's just like
That's
this
a million
avalanche
views there.
of things. Like, what's going on?
I really gotta see a video of this. Oh my
She'll just be
god.
laughing her butt off, but...
Oh god, that's brilliant. That really is.
Yeah.
Oh god, I really want to see you roll over into a pile of toys. Go.
What's going on?
You just hear this boom, crash. Ah! John's
Well,
away.
that's not supposed to go there. Oh god.
And if that doesn't work, she just starts climbing all over me and laughing uproariously as I grunt in agony as she keeps repeatedly kneeing me in the stomach and crying.
Your daughter is awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh!
What are you playing now?
Mario World?
Oh,
What was the edition?
Yeah.
Oh, the All-Star Edition. Is that the SNES SMS emulator?
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Up to
it's
the
about
first
game
castle.
over for me too.
Night, Joker Tech.
I think I should also go to bed, actually, because it is
What did I
now
just fucking say?
1:04
Jesus fucking
a.m.
Christ.
We've been going for 4.5 hours. I think that's good.
It's like it's 1:04 a.m.
Another
Like,
episode
it's-
in the can.
It's
I think,
4:01 a.m. here.
Since Livestream deletes these after 30 days, I think I will start posting the old episodes on YouTube,
Oh, good.
complete and uncut.
All 6 hours of them.
Yep. We'll see how many views we get.
I'll promote the shit out of them.
There you go.
It's like I posted a 6-hour video. What is the average watch time? 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I know. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, apparently. Okay, so I found something out. When someone's watching a video, if they skip ahead,
Hmm.
it counts as loading the video again, and the view timer starts.
Again.
So
Oh,
if
really?
they watch 5 minutes, and then like, oh, well, he must talk here, and they start watching video, it's another 5. It starts over again. So if they only watch another
okay.
5 minutes, that's 2 views at 5 minutes only.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
a lot of longer videos do get watched.
So skipping
So-
ahead counts as another view?
Yeah, because it loads up the video from a different section.
Well, I'm just going to go to one of your videos and just skip all over the fucking place.
There we go. Awesome. So
We had
that
500 views in 1
okay.
second.
So that would definitely skew the results then.
Yeah, it does. It's a flaw in the way their system works because
Yeah, one of
when you
many.
go to the front, it buffers a different because they segment your videos
It
for ease of load.
It buffers a different chart.
Yeah, pretty much. YouTube chart.
Is it just me, or is YouTube slowly turning into a flaw in of itself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
As in all the problems that it has, it's like one giant flaw.
So they take your video and they chop it up for ease of loading.
yeah.
Because even like 5 smaller pieces will upload faster to the user than just one chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you jump
that
ahead, it just
explains
skips,
the
drops
random
that.
stop and loading, because apparently the 5 small loading pieces, but yeah, that's great when
It might
not all the
bottleneck still.
pieces when
Yeah.
all the pieces don't load.
I've had the issue lately. I think you, Spotted Feather, were commenting on this earlier. Actually, I think he left. But anyway, Spotted Feather was commenting on this earlier. He was rewatching my thing, or my playthrough of the thing. He was rewatching my thing. Yes, I need to go to bed. He was rewatching my playthrough of the thing and commented that part 2 was only playing like the first 20 seconds and then stopping. He tried on a couple different browsers, same thing, and then you are still here. Okay, I wasn't sure, but and then so I thought like, well, that sounds like a YouTube glitch. I mean, obviously, because the video did play fine before. I don't know.
I've
why it
watched
would
the
be-
whole thing
Yeah.
through, so I know it works.
Yeah, I don't know why it would suddenly be fucking up. So I just went about my YouTube travels for the day, and I started experiencing the exact same error with other videos, like just random whatever.
It's a
And,
bottleneck at their server, I think.
So it's some kind of glitch at their end, and basically all you can do is just sort of wait for it to clear up. But I checked the forums, and apparently a lot of other people are having similar issues. So,
And it seems to be happening at peak times a lot too. Like I
Yeah.
pretty much avoid YouTube at like 8 p.m. Pacific. There's no point in touching it at 8 p.m.
there's like
Pacific.
8 billion people are on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's the bottleneck at their server that's causing a problem. So
I don't know.
I have no idea. Obviously, I just know I know some programmers here and there who have worked for the company, so I have some information which I've already divulged all the information I know
There you go.
about how it works.
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? Such is life on the tubes of you.
It,
that actually kinda rhymes.
technically it should work better, but it also can also have problems with its bottlenecking or whatever, you know.
Nair NYC asks, "What's my next gameplay game?" Honestly, I don't know at this point. I've still got a stack of demos that I want to do first impressions vids of, so I might do that at some point. Yes.
You got Out of This World, didn't you?
Down here.
Or was it Flashback?
Out of This World. Oh, the new one? No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Is that
Okay.
even out yet? I didn't think that was even
I don't
out
know.
yet.
I don't. You got one of those games, didn't you? Like an older like 3DO game or whatever
Yeah,
for the
I
PS3.
got something. Oh, well, I got Alien Breed. I got, well, I mean, I got some full games as well. Like, I got Amy, which I want to check out. I got Sonic CD, of course.
Of course.
Alien Breed. Oh, I did get Dead Space 3 Awakened, which all of you probably know already. Don't know when I'm going to play it. Please stop asking me.
When are you gonna play that, Sean?
I'll
Are you gonna play it?
I'll play it when I play it. That's when I'm gonna play it. What the fuck else did I get? Naughty Bear in Paradise, whatever.
I really want you to play that. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna drink when you play that.
Oh, the God of War Ascension demo.
You
Hamilton's
should play,
Great
you
Adventure.
should play all of
demo.
God of War. Oh, you can't. 'cause
No,
of
I
the
don't have the
boobs.
first two. I'd like
Also
to
because of boobs.
I'd like to replay those though. What else? Yeah, I can't.
Does
remember.
Twitch actually have a nudity issue?
No, Twitch doesn't care. It would be YouTube. You wouldn't be able to upload it to YouTube.
No.
If you have, because you're doing the uploading yourself from Twitch, right? Or
No, I'm uploading. I'm recording
Ah.
it locally and uploading the local file.
okay,
I guess you could
Well,
technically censor the nudity.
yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
Oh, they just put black bars over it.
Black bar.
Say, if you'd like to see this uncensored, go to my Twitch page.
Yep.
There you go.
And no, Funk Monk, I haven't played the new Tomb Raider. I did watch somebody fail miserably at playing it repeatedly and getting Lara Croft's eye gouged out with a stick. There's a part where she's going down the river rapids. If you do it wrong,
Oh, is
she
that-
like runs into this hole and she's
Oh, yeah, there was
Which
some-
is
It
amazing
actually
is
goes-
it's the same pole like every 10 feet apparently.
Yeah,
Yep.
it actually goes up through her chin, and
Right,
like,
yeah.
out the top of her head. Like it just skewers her
Yeah,
head.
That a lot of the critics and reviewers are saying that is one of the things about it is that it's just incredible. Like it's beyond God of War gruesome. The number of ways that she can die, and,
It's like
and they
Dead
showed
Space
that one.
gruesome.
Yeah, they show some of them. They showed that one where she's going down the river, just out of nowhere, just goes. And it's like she's still alive, and she's like
and she's like
gliding on the-
suffering and like trying to pull it off and
That
then
was-
Things like
die.
that, and finally she drowns.
Yeah, that was the
In her own
Conan
blood,
O'Brien
mind you.
one we watched, wasn't it?
Yeah, they was in that one
Oh
too.
my God.
But I was watching
That's
someone
so
else who
funny.
was having a problem with that section.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Falling to her death, having a rock crusher. That was pretty awesome. She's like, ah! She was like, oh, that's brutal. Yeah, some of that. I want to watch a full playthrough of that. 'Cause it's brutal
Raptor
shit.
says, "Just put my face on the boobs."
Actually, it's funny. Is you won't even do black words. You'll have to black out. You'll have to cut out the entire segment and say, unfortunately, I can't show this because you can't do the sound effects now. You can't. You can't do any of this. People were getting their videos taken down who are just implying.
Oh God.
It's like the FCC episode of Family Guy. No thrusting, no moving, no motion whatsoever. And it's just them laying there going, done.
Yeah,
a
Peter
point
had no
was,
issue with that.
Someone was watching Cutie Pie PewDiePie, however you say his freaking name.
I think it's just PewDiePie.
He was doing
like cutie pie.
He was doing Heavy Rain, and he had to take the entire segment down where she does a strip tease
Oh,
because
really?
there's boobs. He did just a blanket out of her breast the entire time, and he still got taken down.
What?
Yeah, and
That's
so
ridiculous.
so you should put up the
Yeah.
missing reel at Grindhouse. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I like
Show
that.
up,
And if
put
you
up
really
the
want to see this, look at my Twitch page, and you put a link to the Twitch page. You know.
Yeah.
You should, yeah, missing reel found on Twitch TV.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Putting my face on the boobs. That's hilarious.
There's no
Well,
setting.
They're all
for it.
like,
Oh,
okay,
God, you're
so
kidding me.
ready for boobs. Oh, God.
That's what he
Boner
did. His
kill.
face was on the boobs, and they still had his video taken down. So you're just gonna have to be careful about that.
Yeah.
There's actually,
That's
I used to
bullshit.
watch,
Yep.
I forgot what review. I think it was either Nostalgia Critic or I think it was Linkara, where they had to do one where they had to show a video of somebody who was naked, and they had some random dude who worked on the site, and they did that. They put his face on each one of the boobs. And his face was like that. He was like, it's just this weird happy face. Just
Baby.
of course they started posting. They used some Springboard, I think is what they use
Mhm.
to post all their videos. They used to use Blip.
Good old
Vimeo
Blip.
is also pretty popular.
Yeah, they used to
Which
post
one?
to Blip.
Vimeo and Dailymotion.
Oh, Vimeo, yeah. Daily
Yeah.
Motion.
Neither of those get taken down for nudity. So
No.
Um,
Well, a lot of the other sites have like ratings systems that you can use.
yeah,
And
they
you
have
can
a-
you can
they don't allow porn, but they allow nudity.
you can basically rate your own video, saying this contains material suitable for 18 and up,
Yep.
and
Yeah, I
that
don't
would
know what
include
the-
boobs. I mean,
I don't know what the requirements are, but there actually is a rating system on YouTube. I've
It
seen
has to be
it before.
educational.
No.
That's the thing. You can't put
Well,
nudity
that's the
unless it's
thing. I
educational.
haven't. The stuff that I've seen that had a rating system, far as hell, wasn't educational. They were like
No.
game reviews and shit like that.
Yeah, but it may
And-
not have gotten any. May not have gotten.
But I just remember seeing this like gray bar, the gray thing that
Censored or
shows up, and it says this video contains blah 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 blah. The video will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I know
bang.
the one you're talking about. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's if it gets flagged.
is inappropriate.
Certain types of flags will basically put an age restriction on it.
But
that's
you can't
part
show
of-
nudity unless it's educational. That
But
much I know.
you can't do that yourself. Like you can't put it in. Or no, wait a minute. I know what you're talking about. No, I was thinking of something else. Because there's one that's a flag that says it's proceed at your own risk, basically, because this might be
Yeah.
offensive. But then no,
Yeah, but there is one that actually is a legit.
legit
this
rating
video
system,
contains this and this in it.
Yeah, I don't know how to get
I've seen
that.
those.
Yeah,
I don't know
I've
either.
kind of wondered about those.
I'm assuming it's ones that gotten taken down and they've successfully gone through arbitration. Maybe.
No, I don't
And-
think so. I think it appears that these are ones that have had ratings added by the poster. Like
Yeah,
the
for
video
a
poster.
while I thought they were added via annotation, but because they look like the same thing, it has the same kind of load bar as the annotation thing you can add that stops the video for 5 seconds so you can say something. But I noticed it when I turned off the annotation. It didn't go away, so it's not a part of the annotation.
No.
Yeah.
It's something. It looks like it, but it's not. It's the same thing when you go to watch a free movie on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it has that preload.
Mm-hmm.
This video is PG-13. It's that, but now that you're starting to see it on regular videos,
Yeah, I have no idea.
because those are posted. The free movies are posted via Crackle. They're not. If you look at it, it's actually a Crackle player. It's not actually a YouTube player.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So YouTube asked Stout randomly if he wanted to do a survey. So Stout does it, and he reams them, basically tears them a new a-hole about the quality of their service, and very well worded because it's Stout after all.
Yes.
Manners about how there's connection issues, how people getting flagged for no reason, all sorts of just everything you can think of. We sat for 20 minutes brainstorming with him to figure out what the heck was wrong with YouTube, what's the problem, and he just did this apparently several pages worth of notes to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
in this in the thing. So
hopefully they pay attention.
yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, I'm gonna be the first one to head out.
Make like a baby and head out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make like a baby and leave.
I was saying, I'm gonna make like a tree and get out of here.
I'm gonna make like a hockey player and get the puck out of here.
All right, I guess we're all heading off. Well, thanks for coming out for another exciting edition of Friday Night Insanity, everybody. Hope you all had a good time. It was good to have extra nerdy chat tonight. That was nice. That was fun. Next week, maybe I'll have booze again. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm so confused. Anyway.
Well, you're about as useful as a screen door in a battleship, son.
There you go.
Sometimes you make a better door than a hammer.
Alrighty. Have a good night, everybody. If you guys want to say some final words.
Penis.
Toodles.
And Alex is just in his own world there, apparently.
Well, you want me to
Alrighty.
say something? Hey, there you go.
Awesome. And Alex just ignores everyone. Excellent. Alrighty. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you all again next week. Until then, thanks for chatting. And sayonara.
Toodles.
Penis.